everybody, welcome back to Terps Esports. My name is Lily.
And I'm Tomas, and we've got a great match coming up for you. It is the premier Gamechangers roster taking on their first game in the 6th Division NECC tournament. This is going to be a very important game so that they are able to set the tempo for their season.
100%, and because this is their first game in the studio, I'm going to go through and introduce each member of this team by role. So just taking a look at this roster, we have Trace on Initiator, Savani on Duelist, Carrots on Controller, Davy Jones on Flex, and Soap on Sentinel. And for our pre-show, we actually are going to run through some statistics, and keep in mind, these are statistics from last spring, as they've only really had one tournament-style round game for the NECC so far. So we're going to be looking at last spring statistics, as well as an interview with Carrots. So we're going to jump right into statistics now, and first up, we have Davy Jones.
Yeah, you can see she's got an average combat score of 270, an average damage per round of 171. That's over a kill per round. And yeah, it says, you know, a kill in the third, just about. So she's getting hers, and she's probably getting somebody else's as well every round. That's just huge value coming out of one player. Yeah,
especially a flex player. That's someone who you want to be super flexible, super, you know, just able to adapt to different roles. So 100% could not agree more. Going into our next player, we have Savani. Savani has an ACS of 217, an ADR of 140, and a KD of 1.6.
Yeah, I mean, she's got one of those roles where she's doing a lot more, just making sure that her team is able to do what they need to do. So the fact that she's still going positive consistently means that she's absolutely a pivotal part of this team. Yeah, and we've seen her on this team for quite some time now, and she's always come in huge, and it's just really important integral member to this team, and I think they know that each other. She's been on this team for so long, so great team chemistry there. Yeah, no, absolutely. And next we've got Trace. She's got an average combat score of 194, average damage per round of 124, and she's still got a KD of 1.01. So getting her one basically every round, and doing a little bit of damage on top of that.
Yeah, and Trace is their initiator, so they are going to be relying on her for utility usage and getting themselves onto site, particularly on the attack. So being able to just have a good game sense is super important when you're that initiator.
Yeah, I mean, as an initiator, really her role is to just kind of go in there, get intel, and then die. So the fact that she's able to bring one down with her is absolutely massive.
And coming up next, we have, drum roll please, Soap. Soap has an ACS of 233, an ADR of 156, and a KD of 1.87.
Yeah, I mean, such a monstrous KD. That's almost 2 kills every round. 1.87, I mean, yeah, she's doing so much. And the one and only Carrots, we're going to be getting an interview with her for just a second, but you can see she's got that ACS of 234 and the damage per round 154, but she's still got a KD of 1.42, so she's just doing a great job of finishing off those kills every single time. Hey Carrots, how you feeling?
Hi, I'm feeling a bit nervous, but really excited.
You happy to be back in the studio? It's been a hot second since you've been here, hasn't it?
It has been a while, yes. And I'm super excited to be in the studio. It's so much fun every time I get to be here. You know.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So what's your role on the team? What do you need to do going into every round to say like that was a good round for me?
So as the main controller of the team, controller is basically just, I would like to call it like, it's really shown in the name. It's the invisible just util usage that kind of shows the enemy team, oh, we got this much space. We have like, this is like how much space we have, this is how we can threaten you. And it's basically creating that environment, controlling that environment to make it more nervous for the team, you know what I mean? Make it harder, make it difficult, make them really have to think through each round to see how they're gonna get through how much space we have, or how much how all the tricks we have basically.
Yeah, I love that word nervous. That really, you gotta make them shiver in their timbers. What's going on in your head during the round?
During the round, mostly I'm just thinking about, oh, how am I going to put my, what util I have to put in, when I have to put it in to aid my team the most, because I believe my role, more so than me being the spotlight, I like to think that I help make sure that, because remember I said it was invisible threat, right? Yeah. I like to make sure that the enemy team feels my presence, not because as a player, but because of my util.
Yeah. And one last question before you can go get ready for your match. If you had to play on the same map forever, what map would it be?
This is going to be really controversial, but I personally really love Pearl. And
What?
it's not in the current map pool, unfortunately.
No.
So I'm very sad. But I love playing Pearl. It's been my favorite map for a while, and no one knows.
Well, that's all the questions that we have for you. So we're going to be going into the match in just a second. But before that, we're going to go into a quick ad break. So don't go anywhere. We've got a great match coming up for you. See you guys.
Suman Kim. My in-game name is Carrots, and I'm the controller of this team.
My name is Hannah. My IGN is Tuxedo Sam, and I play Sentinel for the team.
My name is Sima. My in-game name is Care Bear, and I'm a flex.
My name is Megan. My IGN is Giraffe, and I'm an initiator.
My name is Sophia. My IGN is Soap, and I'm an initiator.
Hi everyone, I'm Ayush. My in-game name is Dulcexo, and I'm the coach.
For me, I think it was just really interesting to see like our names on like social media and like on a website. I'm just like, whoa, my name is on a website but so I think that was like the number one thing that kind of like just it brought the realization of like what kind of team I'm in, like what kind of position I'm in.
Meeting them. It's like hard to make a woman and non-binary friends in Valorant, so it's just really nice that we have like a team specifically for that.
The studio.
Yeah.
Oh, the studio.
The
Oh,
studio.
I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that existed until like remember like when we first talked about the studio. I was like, what's that? When I first went to the room, I was like, oh, there's cameras and lighting. I'm just like, that's
Nice computer.
nice computer.
The monitors
So
are crazy.
true.
Winning.
Yeah.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
W winning.
Getting that.
Yeah,
Oh.
that
Yeah, I feel like
was pretty cool.
hey. I would say supportive is definitely like Dusty and Rachel. Those two, just like making sure we had scrims down, making sure we had practice schedules down. Like Dusty making sure like to pick out what we did wrong, just like helping us improve. I think definitely.
Yeah, Dusty's a very present coach, so
Very.
it's like he's really reliable and helped us through the whole season.
Thanks, team.
Yeah, you'd even like schedule things for us, like
Huh. Like organize all those schedules.
help us map bands and like talk to
Stats,
them
yeah.
if like realize if one of them was like unranked or something. Breaking a
Forfeit
rule,
teams.
Forfeit
making
teams.
teams forfeit.
Maybe we don't talk about that last part.
I would also say like our fans in chat, like on
Oh,
stream.
true.
So it was nice knowing
W
people
chat.
watching us.
And the haters.
Oh yeah.
Improve and hire.
I was just very confused. But I think now it's just like the amount of trust that my teammates give me when I give out comms and the amount of like coordination that we have. Like I just love being like IGLing because I trust that things will work out.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are just about to head into our first game of this best of 3 versus Arcadia.
Yep. Teams should be starting any second now. I think we're just about giving just the readies, but I think we're going to be jumping right into Haven for our first map, a classic.
Yes, Haven has been in the comp pool for quite a while now, and it's an old map, so everyone should be very familiar with what's going on here. I think this is a map that the UMD team is very comfortable with. I'm sure we're going to see a Sky. Interested to see what our smoke pick for this. Maybe Omen. I feel like Omen's a good smoke pick.
Yeah, his ability to get, especially into Heaven on the A site, and just generally getting into nice high ground with his teleport ability, super big. Plus, there's just a lot of tight angles, C long, A long, B, just a lot of great places for him to use his blind ability. So Omen definitely has a lot of utility coming into this map.
And that controller player, or that smokes player, I think is mostly Carrot's job. Carrot's
Yeah.
sentinel / controller, so she kind of dabbles in between the two. So she is such a powerhouse when it comes to this team. Last year, I remember she consistently top fragged. She is who you're probably most afraid of if you're on the other team. But here we are. Let's take a look at our comp here. Yep, we got Carrots on Omen, like we were saying. Soap on that Cypher. I really do like that Cypher pick on this map. We got our Duelist as the Jet, double Initiator. I think double Initiator really is the way to go here on this map. And mirror comps, so Arcadia must agree.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing when you get one of these super old maps is that it's just been drilled into oblivion by both teams that you know, we're really going to be seeing, you know, the best of the best Valorant plays in this game. There's not going to be any uncertainty. These players know what they're doing.
And UMD is going to be starting on the defense, which means Soap will set up her trusted setup. Looks like that's going to be placed towards B site. Maybe have some eyes on Garage as well. And now Arcadia is going to try, it looks like they're going to start out with an A push. I mean, too early to tell, but regardless, they're going to have to, you know, feel out this UMD defense. The first couple rounds are going to be mostly used to see where this Cypher setup is. And it looks like Soap has actually transitioned to the C site and is looking at holding C long, which Arcadia might swing into in any second now.
Yeah, you can see that she's holding long with that camera, but the teams are kind of waiting slowly, and as Soap is starting to walk away, we still see 2 players, especially the bomb carrier, still towards that C side. So Carrot's making sure, Soap is keeping an eye on it, making sure that nobody's doing anything funny. But speaking of funny, here's an interaction. Savani taking a fight on A short, but nobody is going to die out of it. She's just going to take a little bit of damage and have to back up.
That is information for Savani to relay to the rest of her team, and there's still some attackers short, so I wouldn't be surprised we see her just try to jiggle peek here. Looks like that's exactly what she'll do, but Arcadia has backed off a good bit. Looks like they're waiting for the team to regroup before they fully commit to this A site, where it does look like they'll be heading in the end. UMD, though, still pretty spread out, and now Savani's just dancing around this angle, waiting for the peek. Looks like she's going to get it any second now.
Yeah, you can see that Arcadia did a really good job in the beginning half of this round. They got a lot of damage onto UMD, but more importantly, they made a lot of sound C, and now it's just going to be those initiators still on site. But as Arcadia floods out, they're going to be able to take 3 down, only losing their Jet in the process. And so this is a 4v2 advantage with the spike down already for Arcadia in this first round.
And now Carrots and Soap are going to have to retake. Soap is looking in from heaven, but her location's revealed as she fires a classic shot or two. That shot guard's going to make things so hard, especially as Carrots gets taken down, and there's not much Soap can do there. So the first round will go in Arcadia's favor.
Yeah, that's just so rough if you have a classic there. You know, we had Ghosts and Sheriffs coming out from the enemy team, so you're just not really going to have the range to take those kinds of engagements. So great job from Arcadia getting UMD exactly where they want them and just doing a fast, strong rotate and execute it onto A, only using 1 player. It's a very good execute.
Yeah, and they really didn't leave a lot of time for themselves. They were down to about 30 seconds before they even got that spike down, so that's something UMD has to be aware of, is what these slow pushes. And oh no, this gamble stack from UMD is just going wrong, and C's completely open. That's where Arcadia is headed, and with only 1 lurk looking grass, doesn't even look like they're going to spot anybody too soon, but more or less the C site is just free range for them. They're going to be able to get this bomb down without any problem at all and just play retake here, and UMD is quickly rotating 4 players heading towards the flank.
Yeah,
Jones swings out into that smoke, gets traded though.
Yeah, great pick, able to get 1, but unfortunately Trace is going to fall from that breach stun. I think just probably underestimated how much damage that was going to do, but now it's just going to be so hard for Carrots here, getting shot by 3 players. The smoke comes down, but it's just not going to be enough. And as the Sova takes down Soap, that's going to be another win for Arcadia. Well played by them, recognizing we've got the gun advantage, we're going to have range, so let's just go C long and let's just win gunfights.
And that round looked so different from Arcadia than the first round. They were quick and decisive, and 5 rushed C long, an unlucky gamble stack for UMD. I'm not sure if they're going to gamble stack ever again after that one, because they had a lot more success just playing default, or, you know, just spreading out on all sites equally. Looks like they're going to revert to what they did during the first round, which is have that Cypher set up in Garage and on C site.
Yeah, now that they all have guns, though, I mean, they're not going to need to stack 3 players in order to hold 1 site. But it looks like Sova is doing something weird, maybe a lineup. But if he's able to get that off, that's going to be a lot of info. And here comes the dart. It's going to scan 2. The Jet is not going to get scanned, but as long as no UMD players push through, we shouldn't lose anybody to that. And Savani tucked in a very dangerous corner for Arcadia if they don't check.
I like Savani's positioning here. The question is, will she swing or will she get swung into? She swung, her location, I think, was spotted, but she is still aggressively going to hold this angle as the rest of Arcadia is actually walking their way up towards B site. And UMD doesn't have anything to hold it, but I don't know if Arcadia has that read, as it looks like they're going to regroup towards A.
Yeah, this is good for UMD because this is one of their stack sites. They still have 2 players here. Savani holding a very aggressive angle. She's going to be able to relay that information to her team very quickly. And she's going to be able to back up and get out of dodge before anything hits the fan. Here comes a scan. It's going to catch the jet, but she's not going to fall for it. It gets stunned though. That's going to be huge damage and she's going to fall.
Great utility usage from UMD. Savani just trying to hold on for dear life from hell, but she does lose her life in the process. Her teammates are there to get that trade in, putting UMD at a 3-1 advantage. Spike is not down yet, and that Cypher Cam is going to make things really hard for this last Arcadia player to do much of anything, as UMD is just going to rush them down in 3 swing in order to secure that round.
Yeah, beautiful team play. All of them just waiting for that player to push up, because frankly they really had to. It was the only way that they were going to win that fight is to find a 1v1 and then use that breach ultimate. So UMD knew, like, as long as we just play backwards, we get the scan, we get the blind, there's just no way that this player is going to be able to do anything, and that's what they do, and they're able to get a clean round win.
Another good buy for UMD for the most part, with the exception of Savani maybe, but look at Arcadia, they're buying up and they have an Odin.
Yeah, fortunately UMD doesn't have anybody playing B, because that Odin is probably going to just melt anybody who's playing over there. We'll have to see where that Odin ends up going, but it looks like they're doing just a fast B rush. Here comes the smoke out of it, but I think they're just going to execute right through. They're going to be able to shoot down that Cypher trip, and here comes the plant now.
Yeah, fast B push from Arcadia, and they haven't gone to plant yet, but they will in no time. UMD just trying to spam through, do a little bit of damage before they might have to retake this site, and plant still not down, maybe going down for sure this time, as half and half split up, B-Link, A-Link, as UMD try to use some utility to get back in this thing. Savani's going to throw down a couple smokes to help out dash into them, and Trace and Davy Jones are going to be right behind her, and UMD has B-site. Look at this positioning from Arcadia, playing off-site, relying on utility. And that Odin spam, not going to work out quite yet, but that Omen finds Davy Jones. This Odin spam is still going to be an issue for UMD. They have to take it down or it's just going to keep causing problems. And that's exactly what it's doing so far, and UMD cannot stay on the spike with all of that util coming their way, and UMD cannot take home that round.
Yeah, very dangerous position for Arcadia, because if a good smoke comes down and they're not able to spray anybody down, they could UMD is probably able to get a sneaky defuse off. But yeah, that Odin plus the shock dart, it's really well placed and just not allowing UMD just any bit of leverage to be able to win that round. Very well played by them.
That was a really well calculated Odin buy, dare I say. I'm usually against Odins, but that was so smart of, hey, we're all going to play off-site and we're going to play post-plant and just spam the heck out of that bomb, and it worked out great for them.
Yeah, now UMD is going to be on a save round, but still, I mean, with those Sheriffs, getting just a couple good headshots, and they're absolutely in this round. So Arcadia cannot afford to play this game safe. Look at this position from Savani as well. I feel like I've never once checked that angle.
I would love to see them double swing this or bait Trace even, so Savani can get that kill, because like you said, that's a really weird angle to play, but this dart might give them away. No, it looks like Trace was able to shoot it, but Savani still being quiet, but it doesn't look like they're going to push into them anytime soon, as Arcadia pulls off this fast rotate to C, and look at C. C is pretty much clear. Soap is the only person near C, and she's going to be holding Garage along to help with her trip, but she's got to be hearing footsteps by now and calling out to the rest of her team that she's going to need help, but she swings out, tries to find that Garage kill, doesn't quite happen though, and Arcadia's just going to be able to take more and more space into Garage and C-site. UMD on the other side of the map.
Yeah, that timing is just so unfortunate, trying to get that cam information into Garden, but it's just going to fall for it. And we see 2 UMD players going for that flank, but the problem is there's a Cypher trip there, and they just don't really have the range to take this engagement. So maybe if they can get the jump into that Cypher, but they're just going to regroup the rest of their team in Garage. I think I'm going to be ready for this jet. Just in the window here. Here comes the flash, and she's gonna fall. That's gonna be a rifle for UMD. That's exactly what they needed to come back into this round.
Now they're gonna have to rely on that rifle, and that they do with Savani opening things up with a kill, but she gets taken down by that Odin. And now UMD just crumbling as they try to make any leeway onto the site, and that one rifle they had, they now lost, and UMD's economy cannot be looking good after that one.
Yeah, UMD did a great job of really playing for that rifle, but unfortunately, there were just too many angles and too few weapons to be able to make it happen. So they're going to fall down to 1 round compared to Arcadia's 4. So this is definitely going to need to be the round that they need to come back. They only really have that Sova ultimate to play with, but they should have a couple more coming up if they're able to do really well in the beginning of this round. So I think what we see out of the opening of this round is going to set the pace for this round as a whole.
Yeah, it starts off with the scan from Soap's cam, but look at this breach ult from Arcadia. They're going to take site so quickly that UMD just didn't even know what happened yet. Soap, though, gets taken out by the... Oh, look at the swing, though, in mid. Savani going to come out on top of it. So she's going to be able to take some garage space here and group up with the rest of her team, including Carrots, who's trying to use her flash to get in through CT.
Yeah, look at that beautiful smoke from Carrots. I believe they got 2 players out of Arcadia. So really well done, but unfortunately, UMD is just not really able to capitalize on it in time. But Davy Jones and Savani able to push out. Now it's just an Omen in a 1v2. If they're able to win this fight with a beautiful shot out of that Omen, and now it's just a game of ring around the rosy, but beautiful shot from Savani, and that's going to be UMD's next second round on the board.
Great job from Savani. Those fights are never in your favor when you have to both kill the remaining attacker and defuse. Especially C-Long, we all know how difficult that can be with, you know, just somebody in cubbies swinging like that. So great job from Savani. That's what you got to do there. You just got to swing and win that fight as soon as you can, so you have time to defuse. And UMD is just trying to crawl back into this thing, but Arcadia keeps repurchasing the Odin, and that's just been causing so many problems for UMD. They have to know where this thing is when the round starts and avoid the Odin at all costs, I think.
Yeah. But I think it was really well played by Savani just to be able to recognize if I try to play for the spike, I'm going to lose this. So just like you said, swinging wide. But we're seeing this Odin setting up on Garage, and I think Arcadia kind of feels that UMD's C-side holds are a little bit weak. So seeing UMD move 2 players over there, I think is definitely a very smart way to play this round. Looks like they're going for more of a mid push. We still see the spike in window, so Arcadia has the opportunity to go wherever they want for right now.
And it looks like Arcadia's Jet might be a little bit aggressive B-site if she gets the read, but there's not a lot of people there. But one thing that Soap has the read on is that Odin is going to be mid, so UMD is responding accordingly, setting some reinforcements towards B/A as Arcadia groups together and might run into Savani's crosshair here, but no, that scan is going to force her to back up a little bit and take a more conservative hold onto the site. But she's still, like, you know, holding down her space, waiting for someone to swing into her, and it looks like that's about to happen with this Odin, but the Odin is just way too much for Savani to handle in that case. Soap, though, with a Bulldog, comes in huge to hold her own onto the site. Arcadia does not have bomb. They're nowhere near the bomb. Actually, it's going to force their Omen to TP and grab that thing and head back to A with the rest of their team. Omen does end up killing Carrots, but UMD responds and takes home that round. Yeah,
that's a huge oversight from Arcadia, forgetting to get the bomb, which, you know, this is not just a case of, oh, they had to use an ultimate. The big thing is that their plant was delayed. They had site control for long enough to get the spike down, but instead of planting, they had to have a player go MIA and have to win essentially a man down while waiting for Omen to get that spike, and the whole time the spike is not being planted. So, yeah, a huge oversight from Arcadia, and well done by UMD, just recognizing as soon as that Omen TP goes out that, you know, this is their moment to go and fight.
An aggression from Savani peeking out into A. She's not going to see anybody quite yet, as it looks like Arcadia is being a lot more passive this round, just I think waiting to hear utility, waiting to see utility. There looks like there might be a fake Omen smoke A long, knowing Savani holds that angle in case that's an option for Arcadia in the future. But for now, it looks like they're just going to use their Sova darts and see what happens.
Yeah, even if nobody from Arcadia pushes forward using that smoke, just the fact that it's there means Savani A has to move off of this angle because she's just not getting any intel, and you know, now she has to play an angle that she might not necessarily want to be playing, having to double up with Sova short. But it looks like it's not going to matter ultimately, as Arcadia is setting up for a B hit, maybe going for some sort of like C pinch.
And Davy Jones actually is the first person on UMD to spot an Arcadia player, but time is ticking down for them. They almost have 30 seconds left, so they're going to have to move fast. Looks like they are going to try to do so through Garage. They have to get through Salty Soap, though, and she almost finds that kill. I saw that head dink, but not quite enough to finish the job. Carrots also gets taken down on C-site, and that's going to make things really easy for Arcadia unless Savani has anything to say about it, as she still has her knives out. She's going to be really aggressive here, try to smoke that close left, and just has to play ring around the rosy on that angle, uses all her knives to find that last kill, and up to a 3v1 in favor of UMD, and that is going to be no problem for the remaining UMD defenders.
Yeah, great job from them. Just all of them able to find an individual 1v1 and being able to win it. Great job from the knives, recognizing if I just get these kills, I don't really need the rest of them. So just going for the right click and taking out that Vandal, and here's that beautiful shot, able to find it just before getting flashed too. Perfect timing. And then, yeah, the scan comes out from Sova, and even though Savani wasn't able to finish it, I mean, just having that pressure there, allowing Trace to take her time. So, UMD able to equalize. It was looking a little bit scary for a little bit, but it's back to 4v4, 4-4, and the only thing that UMD really has to worry about is that Arcadia does have a significant ult advantage.
Yeah, a weak buy from Arcadia. Looks like they're trying to go B with it collectively as a team.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to go for a fast initiate, but unfortunately, Davy Jones with that seismic ability is just going to be able to take them off, and now UMD is all set up, and we have two players. Keep an eye out for the Sova and the Jet flanking all the way around, because that is going to be where the magic happens this round for UMD, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Arcadia really is aware of this flank. There's not really anybody watching it except that one breach, but this attention is turned away. That leads to Carrots finding two. Trace also found one for herself, and UMD 2-1 advantage, but they still have to defuse this bomb here, and they are not on site, but Carrots is going to try to TP right in the other Omen's face and does a great job at it.
Dude, you know that Omen is a little bit annoyed just seeing the TP coming right in front of them, but they had their smoke out, so what were they going to do? Carrots just doing a great job. I mean, we could say that they got lucky, but I mean, just knowing that Omen has to be putting down a smoke. If that Omen doesn't smoke, then I mean, UMD is just going to run them over with their better weapons and their better range and their better armor. So Carrots, recognizing that their Omen probably is not ready for a fight right now, and taking advantage of that, very, very well played.
And this is the first time UMD have been on top, have been in the lead this half. So this is the point where they really have to run with that momentum if they want to be up when they transition onto attack.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing an op coming out from Arcadia. Or maybe that was just Savani's, but it's going to be well played for that op because both teams are stacking the C-side. And Savani sticking with the op, but she's not quite going to get punished for it. Here's a big flash, but she's got a smoke to get her out of there, and Davy Jones has got her back as they're able to get the kill onto the enemy Jet instead. But they're not ready for the Cypher coming out mid. He's going to find two, he's going to find three, and he's finally going to fall to Soap. But that's still a huge pickup for Arcadia there. And now UMD in a 2v3 retake.
UMD no longer has that op, and they can't even care about that op anymore. They have to focus on winning this round. Flashes are coming in from Arcadia towards CT side, so they definitely know where UMD is. And look at these two long players. That's going to make things really difficult for UMD unless they're able to get an Omen smoke off. But this one breach, they might not expect, just sitting on site, holding that angle. Soap gets taken down. It's up to Carrots here just to find a couple kills, but too much utility, too many bullets being thrown in her face, and Arcadia evens it up at 5v5.
Yeah, really well played by that breach to be able to send out that the stun from their positioning, because you could see it from the way UMD was playing that they did not realize that the breach was sitting there. They thought that the breach stun came from long, and Carrots tried to get a sneaky ninja defuse within that smoke, but they just weren't ready for that breach. So a really clever play coming out from Arcadia.
And tactical timeout from UMD, you can see Coach Dusty, former UMD Premier player, coaching his team a little bit, words of wisdom. What do you think he's telling them right now about their performance and what they need to change? Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be talking about that C-side hold. This is where Arcadia has been kind of dominating all game. When they try to push anywhere else, UMD is on them. But when they push that C-side, they're just able to get control very well. They just clearly have a very good C execute. And clearly, UMD is either not being proactive enough in that defensive C, or they just need a little bit of help figuring out how they're supposed to retake this. Because I think they're just losing site control, and then they're a little bit lost how to come back.
You're exactly right. It seems like C is the side that UMD's been getting punished on for the most part. I'd be interested to see if they decide to put anybody else on that side, as it looks like for the most part they're really just putting Soap there along with her setup, which is cool and all, but it just doesn't seem to be enough to hold back Arcadia. So I'd really like to see maybe Carrots there as well. But again, I don't want to see that take away from the A aggression, because that's been working beautifully from Savani.
Yeah, I really like this switch up from Soap. She clearly has a setup, but she knows that every time Arcadia always just uses a Sova shock dart to get rid of her trip, and so she actually moved it backwards, where it's much less likely to get just destroyed by Sova before it can do any damage. So very heads-up play by Soap, and you can see that that's maybe enough to hold off this Arcadia execute. Is they're still looking for a way to enter.
Yeah, they have not made any leeway onto any site until now when they found Davy Jones. Look at this flank from Savani, and Trace, though, works out beautifully for them, but Savani just has to hold on to her life, and look at that shot. She's looking for more, though, not going to find it. Great job from both Savani and Trace, though, creeping up from A. Now it's up to Carrots and Soap to make some room here from mid. Carrots going to use her ultimate to get to A before Arcadia's able to. She gets flashed and is able to find the first, and looking to spray transfer on the second, and pulls it off in the end. Just because it's a little messy doesn't mean it doesn't work. That was a great first shot, though. That first shot was not messy by any means.
Yeah, you can see that Carrots is not particularly happy with that, but I mean, super well played. First of all, recognizing that Arcadia is going to be able to move on to A, and just getting that timing with that ultimate. You can see that Arcadia was not ready for somebody necessarily to be in that corner because she had such a fast TP. And even though she whiffed a couple shots on the second player, I mean, her positioning was just so good that, yeah, she's able to find both. Great stuff.
Yeah, that was a beautiful TP. The timing was just exquisite for Carrots. So yeah, great use of ultimate there. And look at this C rush from Arcadia. Like you said, it's just been UMD's weak side, and they're not really reinforcing it much, and it's going to be especially hard to do so when you have that breach ultimate right in your face. Arcadia takes site with no problem. And look at that spam. That is so unfortunate for Soap and Carrots, for that matter. And UMD way players down advantage right now. Going to have to find a way to retake because the spike is planted.
Oh no, the Jet gets blinded, but so is the Cypher, so neither of them are going to be able to find each other. And we just have the Breach coming in to finish up that kill. Davy Jones able to find a second one, and suddenly UMD is back in this with a 3K out of Davy Jones, and she's looking for more with the ultimate coming in. It's going to stun both. Here comes her ability, and that's going to be an ace. Not quite. Is the Jet going to be able to find it? It doesn't matter because Trace is on the defuse, and just is not going to be able to get it. What an amazing round from Trace. That was, putting the team on her back. It's a 4K and stuns the last member. Great stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. I think it was from Davy Jones. Trace was able to find the last one. Davy Jones with the 4K, though. Wow, she got them right back in that thing. That round looked not super optimistic for UMD until, you aggressively swing those angles. It's all about confidence at that point, especially using that ult, too. Just got to be on a confidence boost for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And a confidence boost is what you need coming into the second round, because if you're confident going into the half, it doesn't really matter that everything's reset. I mean, especially for these pistol rounds, this is where I would say that strategy is less important than just aim for these weapons. So just having that confidence is going to be a huge pickup for UMD, as they are looking to go for more of a B hit.
And now, like we said, UMD is going to be on the attack. So this pistol round is going to be about them feeling out how Arcadia is defending, and Savani's going right up in their faces. Does get killed, though, but the trades are coming through. For the side of Arcadia, though, UMD responds, though. Things aren't too out of control for UMD yet, as it looks like there's only one Arcadia player left on only 9 HP, so... oh, that was Carrots. It's always confusing with the side switch, but UMD not able to take that first attack round, and they went for an aggressive push there. It didn't quite work out for them.
Yeah, they were able to get a good amount of space initially, trading out Savani for the Omen who was playing on site, or not the Omen, the Cypher I believe who was playing on site. But unfortunately, they just kind of ran out of steam after that. And Arcadia with the fast retake is just going to be able to mow them down. Now they've got a huge weapon advantage. We see only light shields for Savani. Other than that, UMD is just running the classics, and that's probably going to mean that they're not going to be able to get a whole lot. They're just going to run through garage, some of the closest angles, but a great job from Cypher recognizing that that's where UMD is going to want to push and being able to pick up that jet.
It's so fast again from UMD and not working out though quite yet, as there's only one UMD player, Soap, who's remaining with a classic in garage, and I think she's very much in a pinch here. And against a Guardian, there's not much you can do, but that's 2 rounds in a row where UMD went for the fast and furious approach, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have to slow down on this round now that they have the weapons. As long as they do their due diligence, this should be a round that they'll have an advantage in. But I mean, they need to be careful. There are so many, weapons that have the opportunity to get those kills. The Guardian with the one-shot headshots, the Bulldog's a good burst, will be able to knock out a player. So even though UMD has the advantage in this round, they still need to be very careful.
Yes, this should do.
Looks like they're just gonna be going for a full default here. We see the spike in window. Hopefully UMD doesn't forget, doesn't leave it there. But look at this aggression coming out from Jet. But it's actually very well played from UMD. They've got somebody playing in that corner. Is she gonna be ready for it? No, she's not, and she's just gonna fall to Davy Jones.
Yeah, I think that Jet got a little bit distracted by the trip where Davy Jones was able to get eyes on her before her crosshair was in the right place. So good opening pick from UMD, but they're not really taking much space off of it. They're more so just regrouping and maybe deciding where they want to go next. And look at this aggression from the Sova from Arcadia is actually probably going to swing out into UMD, and that's exactly what happens. And they just have to run away for dear life, cannot get out in time as Savani able to find that kill, and UMD's now going to try and take that space on A.
Yeah, immediately regretted that decision, but unfortunately it was just a little bit too late. And they're just going to be caught with their pants down, and now UMD going to be able to execute onto the site. The Omen walks out and isn't going to be able to get a kill onto Savani, but now with just the breach left, and UMD knows that they're having as well. Looks like Soap might just be able to get this pick. No! Great shot from Breach, able to cut her down. She's going to be able to get a Phantom as well. This is not unwinnable for Arcadia. UMD just needs to set up on this cross angle and make it difficult.
Yeah, UMD just can't give up 1v1s here, and exactly, they play it perfectly with Carrots and Trace holding that crossfire like you were saying, and UMD finally is able to find some footing here on attack.
Yeah, able to win that round. That was a very important round for them to win. If they had lost that, Arcadia, their economy would have kind of just spiraled out of control. But speaking of their economy, they're going for that Odin again. I'm interested to see where they end up putting it. Looks like the Sova is just going to be walking A side, and I think the Sova just might be one of those people who just runs Odin all the time, which is interesting. If it works out, it works out. But it is a lot more expensive than those typical rifles. So if that doesn't get the value that they needed to get, that's going to be a weakness for sure.
Savani looking to find an opening pick is not going to find it though, because there's just a whole bunch of different angles being held from Arcadia. Even before you hit A site, that Jet and that Sova playing a crossfire off the bat, and Savani does not want to push into that. UMD's going to regroup, and good job for Davy Jones to have eyes on that flank, because that's always something you have to look out for on this map. And as a result of that pick, UMD is going to group towards C site. Arcadia looks like they might have that read though, as they're starting to lean towards that way as well. Yeah,
Arcadia for sure knows exactly what UMD is doing, but the problem is that getting that pick off of Cypher, who's really the backbone of that C-hold, just doesn't necessarily matter oh my god, beautiful shots out of that Sova, able to get 3 off of the scan and get away with their life. Able to get back, and that's a 4th for them as well. It's now just onto the back of Savani to be able to get this kill, and a beautiful shot from their Jet, able to finish the roundup. You gotta be frustrated if you're UMD for that, scanning 4 of your players on site and just Odin spamming through the smoke. So hard to counter. Look at how in favor this fight is for this Sova. She knows where everybody is, and just
with an Odin, there's not much you can do on the other side of that. I know UMD is frustrated at that one, and they have got to start really watching out for this Odin, as looks like they're repurchasing it every single round, including this one where now $0 in the bank, but worth the Odin, I suppose.
I must wait a moment.
Yeah, and we actually see an interesting thing to note is that UMD actually has that Bucky as they initiate onto the site, and Jet just trying to stay alive with all the util flying around from every team. Enemy Sova is able to pick one up with their ultimate, but UMD still has this control on the site, and they're going to be able to start the plant as well. Ooh, it's actually going to be cancelled. A combination between that shock dart and I believe it was Breach's ability to be able to take them out. And now Arcadia, now that they control Seaside, I mean, they can just kind of comfortably win this round, it seems like.
Carrot's just trying to smoke down any entry points. I don't know if they know that this Cypher's on site. Well, they're going to know soon with Soap's ultimate. That's going to force that Cypher to swing out into Soap, but Carrot's also forced to swing, and they're both going to be losing those fights. And UMD just in a bit of a they haven't looked super confident in their last couple of attack rounds since winning. I think that Odin is scaring them, and they're justified for that, but I think it's in the back of their minds.
Yeah, I think they just really need to be worried about that Seaside. It seems like Arcadia really has that Seaside on lock, both on attack and now defense. So I think they just look so strong attacking the B side, attacking the A side. I think once you get that pick onto Cypher, but you know that Arcadia on defense is going to need to start shifting over to that C side, and they're going to be a little bit weaker on A. So I would say probably just staying away from that, staying away from C side might be the way to go. And it looks like they're going to keep somebody long, but it looks like they're looking more towards mid, which I think is a good decision from them.
Yeah, especially now that they know where that Odin is. Looks like they're regrouping towards mid. Maybe going to push through Garage. They have to be aware of the Cypher utility if they choose to do so. I like this lurk from Trace on C, though. I wouldn't mind if she just waited for that Omen smoke to go and then take some space off of that.
Yeah, but it looks like Arcadia knows this play, as they're just going to re-smoke, and now Savani has to walk into the site all by herself. And UMD is going to lose two just trying to do that. That Odin is going to be able to find another one. And Soap is going to be able to find one Garage. It's not going to be a flawless round out of Arcadia, but it is still just so hard. You got enemies in every direction. Yeah, just a great shot, just a great ability out of Breach, and it really just puts Soap, just puts that kill into their lap.
I really like Trace's positioning there, but I think as soon as they spotted her, Arcadia just knew the alarm bells were sounding that this was going to be a C hit, and that maybe gave UMD away a little bit. And we see another tactical timeout for UMD.
Yeah, and now I think this timeout makes way more sense than the other one. UMD seemed in pretty good control in that first half, but now it just seems like they're looking for an opening. They seem a little bit lost. So. This timeout coming, and now they're going to have a bye round coming into this. This is definitely where they need to put a plan in action and execute.
100%. I think, like you said, the biggest thing here is that C side. They had troubles with it on defense, but can they handle it on attack is the question. And this Sova with the Odin has actually been holding A for the most part and being aggressive and swinging out with that Odin. So having that read early on might be important. Do we just quadruple swing and get that Odin down, or do we just avoid it completely and deal with the Cypher utility on C? That's what UMB is kind of grappling with. I would also like to see them switch up like the pace at which they're pushing. I feel like they've been kind of going at not super slow, not super fast, but I think changes in pace are really important when you're attacking in terms of like keeping the defenders on their toes.
Yeah, it really seems like they're just trying to play off of a rhythm that they know, where it's just play slow, pick a site, and then go fast. And I would love to see, like you say, either going fast in the round or really just waiting until the last second to get those plants down, just to get all that control on the site, doing something a little bit different. We're going to be seeing Jet getting a pick just onto that A short. I don't think UMD was ready for that because they were worried, again, like you said, about that Sova long.
And that's 2 down for UMD early into this round, and now UMD just not looking towards A at all. They have to be aware of the potential flank, though, they could see from Sova if they do choose to go either B or C, but I don't think they're too entirely sure yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were trying to fake a C, which is what they've been doing these last 2 rounds, and I think Arcadia is buying it a little bit, but the thing is that they've got that Sova in such an early position A that, you know, they'll know when UMD is going here, and like there it is. I mean, we're gonna see the shock dart coming out from Arcadia, keeping UMD from pushing in, and the smokes come down, and now, I mean, they're just kind of trapped in A. They can either push into this Odin that's been giving them so much trouble, or they can reposition, but with only 30 seconds left, they just don't have a lot of time.
I think their only option here is to push into this Odin together. They cannot give this Sova 1v1s. Jet finds their third of the round though for Arcadia, and this Sova just with that Odin so deadly swings out to help that Jet. And Arcadia is only 2 rounds away from winning the first game, so UMD has got to respond quickly.
Yeah, well, that was a great trap from Arcadia there, just waiting as soon as that smoke goes down. They throw in the breach stun, they throw in the Omen blind. And, you know, even though UMD is able to find one, there's just too many angles and too much that they have to deal with at the same time, and they're just not going to be able to win that fight. So they're on a save round now. We do see Carrots with the hero rifle, and I believe we'll probably see Savani pulling out her knives as well in this round. But this is just not an easy round to win if you're UMD. I think this is the round where you try to get a pick and just start thinking about what you need to do in you know, once you're back against the wall with that game point.
Take a look at these ultimates. I don't know if we're going to see UMD use them this round unless we are with Savani taking hers out just because she doesn't have too great of a gun in hand. But 3 other ultimates potentially for UMD, but look at Arcadia, 4 for them. So this could be a very expensive round, or the next couple will definitely be quite expensive because they're just going to start getting desperate to start closing out, winning these like decisive end late games here just to take home the first round of the series. UMD, even though the jet knives were popped for Savani, not going to be super aggressive to start things off. Savani just walking forward onto site, but that jet in heaven spots that angle on Trace. Takes Trace down. Savani, though, still made leeway into hell. They have not taken care of this jet, though. She's going to be forced to rotate with the rest of her team towards CT side, where UMD has eyes on.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get the plant down, but you know, again, it's still a 5v3 for Arcadia in their favor, so it's going to be hard for UMD to hold this. They do have good guns, though, so, you know, if Savani's able to get anybody, but she's just going to fall to the enemy jet, and now Karis, you know, caught between a rock and a hard place, just going to go down to her own teammate's ability, but, I mean, there wasn't a lot that she could do, and Arcadia is going to be able to get this round, and, I mean, look at ultimate playing, too. They have almost all 5 ultimates going into this. And this is going to be hard for UMD to come back from this.
Yeah, UMD used 2 of their 4 ultimates last round, so they only have 2 more to work with. And with that, they have a decent buy, but look at Arcadia. They are fully stacked in terms of ults and weapons and shields. So it's just going to be hard for UMD to climb back and get into overtime for this one, but certainly doable. I think if they had a couple of rounds under their belt, it's just all about going on a run.
Yeah, and it looks like UMD is going to be stacking Seaside, but you know, we see that Sova has just been giving them so much trouble holding that, and Savani is going to be able to make her way onto site. She gets to pick onto that safer, and so be able to find one. That's especially important because that ultimate is going to come out. So UMD knows exactly where they are, but the breach stun is going to be coming out any second now, and UMD might have trouble facing against this because it looks like at least 2, maybe even Savani is going to get stunned by that breach ultimate as soon as it comes out.
And Savani does not have a whole lot of HP to work with, but neither does this breach. So if UMD is able to get just like at least 1 or 2 shots on them, and look at the double breach, both from UMD and Arcadia. I'm sure everyone is just stunned right now, but now is the time to get onto site. Carrot's great spray through the smoke. Davy Jones also follows through. UMD puts it at 9-12.
Yeah, I really want to highlight Davy Jones' their play there. Knowing that breach ultimate is going to come out from Arcadia and just ready, I mean, with how fast the reaction was from her, you know that she was just holding it waiting for that breach to come out, and it completely nullified Arcadia's breach ultimate.
Is this double op real? Or no, now it's a single op. So we got an op and an Odin on the side of Arcadia. UMD's gonna have to be aware of that, especially if they plan on pushing A side. Great use of utility for Davy Jones to force that jet off of that angle. That might have just saved them there.
Yeah, and
oof.
beautiful shots coming out from that Sova, able to find 2 out of UMD, and that's just gonna be a tough round for them now, and they have to win it too. There's no saving. There's no relying on ultimates later, and that's gonna be a pick out of the Jet as well, because they're down the Sova and that Cypher. Those are the players that you need to dislodge that Jet, and she's finally gonna fall, but I mean, I think the damage is already done.
All up to Davy Jones and Carrots. Davy Jones swings out, cannot find the pick there. Now it's all up to Carrots, able to get that plant. Gonna be forced to play some sort of post plant. It's just so hard when you're such at a disadvantage player-wise. And Arcadia is gonna run away with this first round at a best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think they really just, we were talking about, having these drilled plays and these drilled holds, coming out on this map, and I think Arcadia just had a better game plan going into this game.
Yeah, well, hopefully the next map UMD just feels a little bit more comfortable in, just something they're, more used to playing. I know Haven's an old map, but sometimes, not my favorite map either.
Yeah.
So hopefully UMD will come back in the second game of the best of 3 and take it home to push this thing into the third.
Yeah, we'll need to see what they come up with in this second game, but while they're figuring that out, we're going to jump into a quick ad break. We'll see you guys just on the other side.
Terp Adventures. Take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body. Feed your mind. Feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance. Sing. Perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete, play, with wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
I think by the end of the season, now we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural race. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Game, or will Red turn things around?
Your ad tech stack is simple, streamlined, and easy to manage, right? Yeah, right. If you're an ad tech, then you know you have a problem. Ad tech is messy, and your tech stack includes way too many tools to effectively manage. At Playwire, we're here to uncomplicate your ad tech stack. We've consolidated the entire publisher ad tech stack into a single platform and added in proprietary technology and advanced tools to generate you even higher CPMs. Get access to an ad tech stack that is simpler and smarter.
Greg, also known as Sind, and I'm an initiator player for the Valorant Premier team.
I'm Kazu, and I go by NJV, and I'm the coach for the team.
I'm Richard, and I go by Pickle Richard, and I'm the duelist player.
Pretty fun. I definitely liked all the guys I was playing with. It's fun to get in the server with them. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a challenge balancing it with other things, but
yeah,
it's definitely something that I enjoy doing a lot.
Yeah, making like all the friends that we made through this team, so it really makes me happy. So it's like really awesome that we did this.
Yeah, I think I had really fun times on this team. I played well every single game.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I think my favorite moment was map 5. I think that was a really fun match.
The grand finals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the
was
grand
fun.
final. Yeah.
Remember what map it was?
I don't remember that.
Oh, it was Sunset. Yeah,
Sunset.
Yeah.
And you played Rays.
Yeah, I played Rays.
Yeah, no, that map was really intense. Like, it was super, super hard. The pressure was definitely on. Like, it was super late at night. It was like midnight or
It
something.
was very late. It was really late.
1 a.m. or
Like, my favorite one was probably the first match of the season.
Oh yeah.
First time in the studio together.
Oh, in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. It
That
was
was
like
fun.
fun seeing all the Academy boys in the studio. So that was sick. Yeah.
My personal goal is I think I'm gonna try to hit Radiant this season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely to win Big Ten right now, and then place top 8 in CVAL. That's our goal.
Top 8 CVAL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Ten is definitely the thing I'm most interested in seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not flying out, but hopefully, or the boys do well over
Hopefully
it.
we win.
Where is it?
I-
OSU? Ohio State?
Yeah, in Ohio.
Ohio.
I promise at least second place.
At least second place? I think we can win it.
I think we can win it too.
I think we can.
We gotta
Big
be
Ten.
humble.
Everyone, we just don't. We can't get complacent.
Can't get complacent. Never that.
That's a good one.
Go ahead.
Honestly, like unironically, I think Kazu is a very fun person to have in the program as like an emotional leader. Even though he doesn't always, sometimes things can get a little disorganized with Kazu at the helm.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
For as much flack as we give him for being terrible at the game, he's actually.
Yeah, if you watch our
He's
games
actually a very
while I play, you'll be surprised. Like, I hear Hallis is guy my coach a lot.
Yeah.
Like a weird amount of times.
But I think Kazu's a great addition for him. I love him.
Yeah, I love
He's
him.
great.
You love Valorant.
He's very wholesome.
He is very awesome.
Yeah.
And he's-
Radiant, remember that.
I'm ready to remember that.
Yeah, his timeouts have improved a lot too. As someone who's seen him coach over the last like 2.5 years.
Yeah, I coached
your
him
old
for a while.
timeouts were.
Yeah, that was when I was
great.
a little baby boy coach.
Yeah, but now he's improved a lot.
Yeah.
I really like having him as a coach.
Thank you, Gregory. Wow, this is great. You should do this more often.
That's the most praise you've ever heard.
He got an ego boost for free today.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready to go into our second game here. I believe it's going to be on Ascent, and that's going to be UMD's pick to get back into this match.
I love Ascent. I'm really excited to see us play on it. I'm really hoping we see a Killjoy. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw another Omen. Another Breach is also a great pick. Or Sova. There's a lot of good options here. But regardless, I hope we see a Killjoy. I love Killjoy, and this is a great map to play Killjoy on. This is also a great map to Odin spam on. So that is something UMD better be aware of. And as we look, we have yet again almost mirror compositions. The only difference is our initiator pick. While Arcadia is opting for that Sky, UMD is going to be opting for the KO.
Yeah, and I really like that that KO pick as well. Just that ultimate ability, just able to shut down so much. If you hide in the little cubby in A, pushing like A main and just popping that ultimate, you can kind of shut down just all abilities. And a very similar thing if you're pushing on B. So it's just a great way to get onto site kind of for free, especially against Killjoy. Great stuff. But I'm glad you brought up the Omen. The Odin from Arcadia. You know, it's going to be on that Sova again. So UMD really has to be very, very careful because we know what that Odin can do.
Certainly. And again, this is a map where you're relying on your Sova pick to Odin spam through B main. So that is something UMD has got to be aware about, especially as they are starting on the attack. They got to adjust to it quickly and figure out how to counter that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Pushing, like you said, I mean, finding out where that Odin is, pushing B main is going to be very, very tricky for them if that's where the Odin ends up playing. They really need to be on their game shooting the recon darts.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much wall bangable materials on this map. If you don't shoot that recon dart, he's going to be able to shred right through you, and you're not going to be able to fight back.
Exactly. The only thing you have on this map is secrecy, because once your location's revealed, man, like, you can pretty much get shot through almost any wall here. So mid control and selfie action going on, but regardless, mid control super important. Secrecy in terms of like rotates and positioning super important, especially on the attack. So those are going to be quite major themes for UMD to take this one home. And we are right into the action.
Yeah, we already see the Sova setting up on B main. If we don't see an Odin pushing through, just holding this and trying to get a wall bang through B main, I'll eat a hat. I'll find a nice hat and I'll eat it because he's just going to be doing that. So we already see UMD pushing for. It's looking like they want to try to fight for that mid control, like you said. So definitely, I think a good call by them, and they're gonna hide out of that bird.
Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot.
Here comes a swing out of UMD. Maybe they're just not ready for that. Omen Carrot gonna be able to get one. The second one falls, but she's already low. She gets fully flashed as well. Here comes a flash out of the sky, and she's just gonna be able to run. But UMD gonna be able to win out of this opening as Savani gets another pick onto the Omen.
I like that positioning from UMD initially. Didn't put them at a huge advantage, but definitely just mixes things up on the other side. But look at this mid control from Arcadia. They're able to find two mid, all up to Trace now. Gonna get spotted by that dog, so she's gonna, my guess is, hold this somewhat aggressively, as you have just gotta kill that Sky here before you're gonna get double swung on.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the plant to come down. Trace isn't able to get it off. Able to find the Killjoy. Now it's a 1v1. It's going to be Info versus that flashing ability. And she's just going to be forced to back up. And now Trace just kind of playing ring around the rosy. Look at this positioning. Able to get the perfect headshot. And you can see Savani there just so happy that she's able to pick that up. Very, very well played by her.
Yeah, nice clutch by Trace. Maybe, hey, the selfie gave them a little bit of, energy, but yeah, just like you said, information versus flashes is the name of the game here. The name of the game is also just to hide behind Jen and peek out when your opponent least expects it. So great job from Trace there to set UMD on the right foot.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just see all that game sense that these players have really in full effect there, just knowing exactly when to dodge, just the perfect timing, and then the far swing. Yeah, great stuff out of Trace, and we're gonna be seeing a deep smoke from Carrots into mid, and it's gonna be followed up by Arcadia's Omen as well. And UMD's just kind of playing slow. I really like this because they have the weapons advantage. That means Arcadia wants to get aggressive. They want to try to catch UMD off guard. So, you know, if UMD just plays back slowly, they can probably get a pick. And even if they don't get aggression, I mean, they've got plenty of time. They have the advantage in any fight that they take.
I do like UMD playing slow and then grouping together here to take B site. Look at the defensive positioning from B though. Nobody's on site. They're going to have to rely on their CT positioning from Sova and Market from that KJ in order to hold things down. It's not going to be enough for them. As Savani's able to find an opening pick for UMD, takes a fair bit of amount of damage doing so though. Regardless, UMD's able to get that plant down, and now it's a matter of playing post plant and not giving Arcadia these 1v1s peeking into those angles.
Yeah, and this is just such a hard, such a hard retake, especially when you don't have the weapons. A great scan is going to get almost all 5 players of UMD, but unfortunately, there's no Odin to be able to punish it, and UMD is just gonna tear through Arcadia with those better weapons, and it's all down to the Sova. UMD does need to be careful though. They need to push out. They can't wait until the end of the round because of that bomb taking down, but they're just going to be able to find that Sova. And great stuff by them. Savani, you can see, really pumping up the team.
Yeah, great job. Amazing post-plant positioning from UMD, but I also like how they started that round initially, not revealing their cards. They really were playing it really low-key for much of that round until they all decided to quietly group together towards B. And by that time, Arcadia had completely rotated off of site, and I think that's the main reason why UMD was able to win that round, is there was no defenders holding from Boathouse or Switch or any of that.
Yeah, and I think this just goes back to what you were talking about in that first game. Really, switching up the tempo. They played very slow, and then on the flip of a dime, just hightailed it onto B site and got control of it basically for free. So it's just very well played by them. And it looks like they're going to try to walk down mid, but again, they're just falling to people from mid. They need to be very careful when they go for these tight engagements. And Davey Jones is going to fall. Savani's going to fall with her, and UMD. Looks like they just need to get whatever kind of damage they can. Trace able to find 2 though, and it's a 1v2. This is almost a mirror of that first round that we saw. This time she's going to just fake the plant, but Arcadia is still going to fall for it and push. But unfortunately, just that 2v1 advantage is going to be too much for her.
Yeah, it's hard when you get double swing like that, but like you said, it looked very reminiscent of the first round, but this is the first round that has gone in Arcadia's favor on the defense for them, so they're going to be able to buy a little bit better guns. Meanwhile, UMD is going to have to work with, not the best selection. But regardless, UMD is just looking to keep up some momentum here. They don't want to let Arcadia run away with this one too much to start things off, especially since Ascent is primarily considered a defensive-sided map.
Yeah, I like the little tease that we're getting out of the enemy Sova. He's running the Ares right now, and I think I just heard him spray through the wall. So, yeah, there's going to be some shenanigans with some Odin later in this game. There's no question.
100%. And look at this mid control from Savani. I really like it, and it's not aggressive from Arcadia's side at all. It does look like she's looking to take some tree control. She has to be aware of this Jet in this corner, and she's going to pay for that one as the Jet's able to dash away into safety. And UMD looks like they might be trying to attempt an A push here, but they really haven't found a pick onto site yet.
Yeah, the door's gonna come down. It's gonna be broken, but that Jet being able to watch that Omen's back, that's super important. If Jet falls there, probably the Omen does well. But Davey Jones able to find 3 onto the site. Now it's just a Sova off site. He's gonna find Carrots, but Davey Jones in a 1v1, she's just not quite gonna be able to get it. Super close match.
Yeah, great effort from Davey Jones. Those 2 kills were beautiful there.
Yeah.
So she did not go down without a fight. Yeah, let's take another look at this. She ends up swinging to find a collat. Almost. Great spray transfer, though, and finds that Sky, who's lingering behind Jen. But with all that damage done, oh, well, there's the Odin.
Yep, I mean, there it is. Fortunately, you know, I'm not a big hat eater, so looks like I'm going to be spared for this one. But we're gonna see the scan come out from Sova, and if UMD isn't careful, we could start seeing some picks. Fortunately, they are looking more towards the mid side anyway, and I think that they're playing slow on the B main anyway. But that Killjoy peeking out, able to find two. I think UMD just wasn't really ready for somebody to full swing them like that.
And now suddenly UMD has lost control of the spike completely as it's smoked off by Arcadia. They're going to have to push through the smoke if they want that spike. But look at the Sky's positioning. They have got to be aware, and I think they are. And that Sky has to back away into a corner. UMD certainly going to be spraying through that in a short amount of time. But they're just trying to get way back to the site. To the spike, I mean. But they just got to deal with the Sky first before she swings out.
Just tracing the head of that Sky, and I think that they don't even think that she's there, and she's going to be able to find Trace. She's on still HP, and she's going to fall, but she's able to find two already, and that's just so unfortunate for UMD. They had the molly, they had the sprays through the box, but they just weren't quite able to find her. If they get that kill, I mean, this round could look so different. You know, they're going to have another weapon, and it's going to be a 3v3 even. They have the ultimate advantage as well. But unfortunately, yeah, that rifle was just too much for him.
Yeah, and that's darn near unwinnable when you lose spike like that, especially outside of market where that arch there can just be smoked off, and then you have no chance of getting near that spike again. So I think that's what really went wrong for UMD. And this time, looking potentially towards ASI, but with a 2-3 split.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be seeing a lineup out of Sova, and this is going to be huge because UMD is really relying on, you know, trying to surprise Arcadia here with their ability to attack, you know, any part of the map at once. So that Sova lineup is going to be huge. But it looks like UMD is regrouping closer to that B side, and there's actually nobody holding B main. They're going to be able to walk up and set up for an execute if they so choose. But I think that they're rotating back to their spawn, and I think they're just trying to figure out a plan for them to have.
Yeah, now that they hear this Odin, I would hope the plan is to run away from it, and that looks like exactly what is happening as UMD rotates over towards A site, looking to also take mid control in the process.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for another A split, and that's going to be really good if they're able to, you know, dislodge the Sky. That Jet is super out of position, and she's actually going to be cut out without her ultimate. And so Soap is going to be able to find one. She falls to the Killjoy, but she's able to do a little bit of damage as well. She's not just one shot. And yeah, here comes that Sova recon. It's going to be able to find Savani, but still, I mean, UMD is looking really good. And you know, keep in mind that the Sky is one shot as well. Sova, I mean, that's what the OG does. But Kara's able to find two, and it's just out to the Sky on 1 HP. UMD is looking so strong this round. As long as they play together, they should be able to have this in the bag.
Yeah, they've got to play this entrance together, and Carrots suddenly has 4 kills that round. Great round for her.
Yeah.
And a great round for UMD to just stop Arcadia in their tracks and not let them go on a 4 run there. You know, they could have had 4 wins in a row, but instead UMD responds, but their economy has taken a hit as a result. But look at these ultimates too. UMD with 4, Arcadia with 3. I would not be surprised if we saw Arcadia especially use them coming into this next round.
Yeah, UMD has to be careful though. If they let that Killjoy get a pick or, you know, get some B main control and get the orb, you know, we're going to be seeing her with the ultimate. And her ultimate is able to shut down kind of any kind of A push. It's pretty good on B retake as well. So UMD really needs to be careful that they're not giving up free kills to that Killjoy. But Savani able to get a, you know, speaking of free kills, you know, exactly that onto the enemy Sky. It's a huge pickup for UMD. Arcadia losing a lot of information just from that one loss.
now UMD looking to regain mid control. Savani has popped her ultimate, so keep that in the back of your head as we see how she continues to progress onto what presumably is going to be the ace. Look at that Sova ultimate though, doing so much damage as it did on Haven onto Ascent, and this might be a bit of a brawl in tree coming up as the Ovens trying to find safety within their own smoke, but Carrots is going to have none of that and knows exactly where this Omen is, but is not going to pay too much attention to it as she knows Trace is right there waiting for that swing to come through just as planned. They got to be careful of this Omen from Heaven though, because it could just spam through.
She sees the Jet, but the Jet's able to still find the Killjoy and very well to be able to evade that shotgun as well. Oh, if she just clicked, that would have been the kill, but oh man, this Odin is just so scary to push, especially when you're on such low health. I mean, it can just tear through you, so Savani not wanting to push aggressively.
Yeah, I don't blame her at all. She's taking her time with this angle and tries to catch the timing, can't quite do so. Now she's trying to hold something to be aggressive. Again, UMD just wants this Odin out of this Sova's hands, so I don't blame them at all for trying to push this Odin and pinch it into a corner. Trace might have a good positioning here, and that exactly is what she does. And finally, this Omen is down, but hey, repurchasing is always an option. So.
Yeah, great round from Trace. That was the second kill that round that she was able to, get for free, just shooting somebody in the back. And that just goes to show just great positioning and knowing that her team has her covered. She's got the time to just go for this long flank and get the free kill and get the Odin out of here. Instead of a Odin, he's running a Sheriff. It's just not going to be able to get very much at all compared to what that Odin would have done.
Yeah, and this is the time where you want to hit B when you know that Sova does not have an Odin. You definitely want to take advantage. And look at the aggression from the Sova. I really want UMD to swing this together. Looks like it's going to be Davy Jones who's going to take on this fight. No one's going to come out of it dead. But UMD looking to take space off of the aggression they've presented here. Davy Jones, though, does get picked off. The Sova's just going to sit on site now. Gets a standoff there.
Yeah, it doesn't even need that Odin to get that wall bang. That's really unfortunate. But look at this aggression from the Sky, and she just gets a little bit tunnel vision. Carrot, great positioning from her, able to get up get that pick, and now that's what UMD needed. The opening, presented as UMD now goes towards A, but Arcadia is right behind them, and Savani getting that pick is actually huge because Savani's probably coming to her team right now. Hey, he is open, but yeah, you can see the Killjoy is already rotating with Spike over there. Sova is doing a little bit of a lurk, but Omen gets a TP, and Trace, look at this positioning again, not quite going to be able to get it, but I mean, UMD has full site control, gets the pick. Savani not quite going to be able to get anybody from that off angle. But as the door closes, I mean, this is looking great for UMD.
Great push from them. Great job diverting Arcadia's attention towards this A site when in actuality the Spike is on B, able to get that plant down, forcing Arcadia into a retake. They have got to have eyes on Garage here. KJ ultimate going to come through for UMD to just try and slow down Arcadia. Trade comes through on either side, leveling things out at a 2v2. HP, though, is not leveled. Arcadia lacking in that department.
Yeah, but I mean, Savani's just putting so much pressure on this team. They need to be super careful of her while they're doing this retake. And even though they know exactly where she is, the fact of the matter is just that they don't have a lot of time. It was a great Killjoy ultimate, and there's just no time for Arcadia to get this pick. Savani is going to fall to the Spike, but I mean, their economy is just so good that UMD just needs to make sure that they're not losing that round. That's exactly what Savani does.
And I really like UMD not being super aggressive there because they know time is on their side. It's up to Arcadia to speed this thing up. UMD has all day in this sense. That's exactly why they use their Killjoy ultimate there too, just to buy more time. So I like the patience and the discipline from UMD on that one.
Yeah, I kind of want to mention, by the way, I'm not sure how much damage that Outlaw does to the wall, but it was kind of interesting that it seemed like Soup was almost, doing a little bit of like a get down, Mr. President, for her Killjoy ultimate, as she eats one of those shots from the Outlaw, and that might have been the difference. I mean, that Killjoy ultimate just did so much, and just great util from UMD, pushing out this Jet, and she's just gonna get caught out in hell, and UMD full site control without losing a single player. I don't think they even took damage on this opening. Great execute.
And now it's up to UMD to just relax and hold these angles, but what great coordination there with that flash from Davy Jones and Savani. Davy Jones gets flashed off of that aggressive angle from Tree, and now she's forced to re-peek into it, but Savani's gonna help out, finding one for herself, does get traded by that Sova. Sova's made her way onto the site though, has access to the spike, but that's gonna send alarm bells racing for UMD as they just swing around and jiggle peek and try to paranoid the heck out of the Sova, causing them to just run away for dear life. And looks like UMD might be able to escape from the bomb.
Trace barely falls. You can see them dying on the end. But again, I mean, they've been winning so many rounds in a row. What's that? 3 rounds in a row now? That 4 rounds. Their economy is fine. We see Soup with 5K. I mean, they're not worried about the money, and Arcadia, they just need to figure out how to get back into this game.
Yeah, and this is the first tactical timeout we have seen from the side of Arcadia. And take a look at this UMD performance. Savani at 11-6. That is exactly what you want to see from your duelist. And Carrot's trailing pretty close up behind her. So something is working out great for UMD on the attack this time. I think they just are looking a lot more comfortable here on Haven. And look around, the team is smiling. They're having a good time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that they're just doing a good job of just, like you said, just playing with the pace very well. They're not over rotating as soon as they get a pick. There was that one round, I think it was 2 rounds ago, where they got the pick on A, and they started walking towards that side, and then Savani gets the pick onto B and realizes they have to psych, completely to them, and UMD had not overextended onto A site. They were able to just walk their way onto B, casually get the plant and win. So that's definitely that's what UMD's win condition is right now. Is just looking at Arcadia's over rotates that they've been doing all game and figuring out what site is open for them.
UMD looking to start things off pretty passively, as they're trying to avoid that Sova scan, but also they just don't want to reveal too many of their cards to start things off, because look at where the spike is positioned. It's far away from the rest of the team, so you might be in store for a fake site execute. Yeah,
it looks like it might just be more of a mid hit, but again, you're putting the Jet, you're putting that KO A main. Those are essential players in taking a site, and you can see Silva pushing B main by themselves. Here comes the flash. Are they ready for the Omen? Carrot is, as they are able to get 2, they die for it, but Savani able to get another pick, and they're still executing onto A when the spike is mid, and Trey's gonna get another backstab. Just doing such a great job of knowing where the enemy is and being behind them.
Incredibly decisive round for the Terps. I love the positioning they started with. I think that is what really won them the round. Meeting up mid, like you said, from all different angles, forces Arcadia to have eyes on so many different more entry points than they would have if this was, say, all an A execute and they rotated through Cat. So great job, great positioning, and that is exactly how you want to come out of the timeout. If you are UMD, you want to just not let you don't want to let Arcadia gain any momentum off of that interaction with their coach they must have just had.
Yeah, I love this play from UMD, turning up the pace a little bit as the scan comes down. As they're going to see this Sky, and she's just not ready for such a fast engagement. And UMD already has site control and they're up a player. They're going to start getting the plant down, and it looks like Arcadia just doesn't really know how to push. They're going to lose 1, but they get 2 back. But we already see that solo ultimate. He's going to be ready to play for the post plant if he's able to get out of sight.
Oh, and UMD is playing this so smart. Grouped together through Gen, but not peeking super aggressively. Once again, time is on UMD's side. They just have to psych out this one last remaining Omen. Using their utility, using, fake swings. Those are all things that are going to force this Omen off the bomb, and these mind games and utility is certainly going to help with that once you get that read off.
Yeah, I love that play from Trace. As soon as she gets that kill, just backs up off of sight. She's got that ultimate. She still had the drone. She still had her shock there. So just getting her off of sight and just being able to play, play their advantage, makes that round almost unlosable. So very, very well played from UMD. Interesting that they opted to have the Sova on site when she had her ultimate, but I mean, it works out perfectly. So, I mean, well played by them.
UMD in their last attacking round of this game. It's important for them to win this because, like we said, this is typically a defensive-sided map, so the more ahead they can get on attack, the better. As it looks like we're looking at a 2-3 split with heavy A presence being shown, but look at B. UMD has free reign on this side if they take it quickly enough and if they're quiet enough that Arcadia doesn't get that idea that that's where they're heading, but it looks like they're just about to.
Yeah, they do give Arcadia the opportunity to rotate back, but I mean, still, it's only Omen and Sky. There's not really any util that they have to fight through, just a couple flashes. And if they're able to get a nice execute, they should be able to get sight. I mean, relatively for free is, I think Arcadia is more used to fight holding this with Killjoy util. And yeah, they're going to be able to get 2 picks and just walk onto sight. The Sova is dead as well, which means that they're not going to have to worry about any kind of wallbang shenanigans. And they just get the plant down.
And Arcadia is going to try to use their Sky ultimate to help them retake, but there's so many UMD players left alive, and they're just going to be watching Market. They know that's where Sky's heading. Drop through logs. Great shot from Savani, looking for more through CT and through Switch. Finds the Switch, looking for the CT pick, and she finishes that one up too, putting her at 4 kills for the round. Great round for Savani.
Yeah, and that's going to be a great half for UMD as well. Up 9-3. I mean, this is looking nothing like the first game. They just are looking so confident in their attack. Like, they have a plan every single time, and Arcadia, you know, it feels like they're just getting, you know, led around like a pig with a carrot on a stick, you know? Like, you know, UMD makes a little bit of noise A, and Arcadia completely abandoned B site, and UMD just kind of walks on for free. So, UMD just needs to, I mean, just play intelligently, not get baited too hard, and they should be able to have a pretty comfortable half as long as they play intelligently.
And again, look at this kill board for both sides. Savani at 18, doing a great job as a duelist consistently, even as UMD just takes on their first defensive round.
Yeah, that's a kill and a half every round. I mean, she's just doing so well. And looks like we're UMD going for a little bit of a, sorry, Arcadia going for a little bit of a split here, but they're leaving the spike A main, and Savani, beautiful shot. She's still got the dash to back out, but she's just going to commit to the fight. Unfortunately, she falls, but Omen has the Sky trapped in the corner. The flash comes out, and she's going to do a little bit of damage to the Sky. Here comes the Sheriff now, and Sky just has to back up, kind of run with his tail tucked between her legs, because, yeah, that Sheriff is now a one-shot for that Sky.
Arcadia opting for mid control. This could be a rotate towards A site, but Soap has really good positioning. If she were to just peek out here, she would see that rotate mid. And now Davy Jones is the one who's going to have the call for her team that this is going to be an A hit through Tree Carrots. Great positioning and great use with that Omen Molly. Davy Jones not done yet, causing damage as she finds another pick through Tree Carrots, cleans it up with a great shot in A main.
Yeah, that's a great round out of that Sheriff. I mean, how many one-taps did we see? 2, 3. First with Savani getting that shot, and then Carrots just able to shut them down. Yeah, let's see the shot again from Carrots coming up as the Sky just walks down and just knowing exactly where she's going to be. Beautiful.
And UMD's only 3 rounds away from taking this second game in their favor and pushing us to a third. They are going to have to keep running with this momentum, and they're trying to build more and more as they're winning that first defensive round.
Yeah, and you can see UMD has a really solid setup on A where they just kind of set Jet on that one-way, and that means that they're able to put 3 people on the B side, which is where Arcadia is attacking. They're going to go very, very quickly, and that's going to be dangerous because they're going right into Killjoy. They need to do their due diligence clearing this stuff, and Davy Jones is going to be able to find 1, but with the classic, Omen finds 2, and they're going to flush on the site, but Trey's going to get 2 with the spray. Can't you find the Sova going for the reload, but she pulls out her pistol, but it's just not going to be enough. And it's a 2v2 for UMD, but they have the gun advantage, and they have a health advantage as well, as a spike is going to go down.
They're going to have to dodge that Sova dart, though. Not reveal their positioning. They also have to be aware that that Sova is tucked behind that box there. Savani going to have to peek that before swinging out onto site. There's also a player Boathouse, and I think she definitely hears that KJ, but is being smart about peeking that Sova first, and now is going to commit to the fight with the KJ. Boathouse swings, uses that Omen flash from Carrots to finish the job.
Yeah, great teamwork. They, I believe, Carrots was just holding that killjoy. They knew that she was in Boathouse, and they knew that there had to be another player somewhere else on site. So Carrots just holds that down, and that gives Savani the opportunity to swing the Sova and just get that clean headshot. And then they just, you know, smoke, flash. I mean, there was no way for that killjoy to win that fight. Just great stuff.
Yeah, great retake from those two specifically. Great, you know, peeking angles wisely and in a good order. And just, you know, great game sense. Just they're really using their heads here before getting into fights. And I think that's what they were struggling with doing onto Haven, as things just felt a lot more haphazard for them.
Yeah, now Arcadia, it's interesting. They're going for a fast take onto B, which is interesting because they need to win this round. If they lose this round, they're gonna go into game point broke. You know, 12-3. But fortunately for them, they're able to pick right. They're able to walk their way around the site and get the plant down with the weapon advantage that they have. It's gonna be very solid, and UMD might have a difficult time even getting those weapons out of Arcadia's hands.
Arcadia's got this plant down, but we've seen UMD be really deadly on the retake. I love this flank from Savani. It's going to work out beautifully for her, and she's looking to take even more space off of that. Going to be hard, though, with that Sky Flash coming through, but Arcadia's really all put together on site. They're going to have to work through some KJ utility, but other than that, Savani has made way onto the site.
Oh my god, able to find two, but she's going to fall. It's all up to Trace, so she's going to be able to find the next two players. And with the Spectre, she just needs to, I think the best play is just to make sure that neither of these players escape their lives. They're able to find this Jet, not quite, but I mean, great stuff out of UMD. You know, even though Arcadia won, they're going into this next round completely broke, and it's still essentially a must-win situation for them. They can only afford to lose 2 out of these next, like, 9 rounds? Like, they do not have a margin of error at all.
Yeah, and Savani purchased an operator, and I think this is a great decision. If she's confident, she has 24-9. I think it's a great idea, especially for her to watch Cat, as this might be an air push from Arcadia, which means most likely at some point they're going to try to take tree control through Cat.
Oh my god, look at the aggression out of Savani, just walking main so confidently because that Omen smoke is coming out from Carrots. And, you know, this is the invisible hand that we're talking about in the beginning because, yeah, I mean, able to completely trap Arcadia. Sure they might have control of A site, but UMD is completely surrounding them, and I think that this site might become a cage.
Arcadia has made way onto A site without much of any trouble at all. Nobody's really seen each other yet, but that's going to change quickly as UMD tries to execute a sort of retake. Carrot's going to be looking in from tree smoke to give herself a little bit more space to work with. Walks up Jen. I love that position from Soap, but she finds 2. Looking for the 3rd. What a shot from Soap. Can she look a main? Wow. What an absolute clip from Carrots.
Yeah, this is not the Carrots that we saw in game 1. You know, the confidence on these players. They're just swinging everything, and they're just getting the headshots. I mean, they're just so comfortable right now, up 12-4. They just need to find 1 round, and I don't think Arcadia has very much money to buy either, so UMD is just looking so solid on this map all of a sudden.
Yeah, let's take another look at the second half of this clip from Carrots. That is just great precision from her, you know, finding those 2 hell and then swinging out into a main. That is exactly the Carrots we are used to seeing here. Savani still has operator in hand, and like you said, not a great buy from Arcadia. They're really gonna have to pull off a thrifty if they want to, you know, send this one any further.
Yeah, and it looks like Arcadia is opting for just another fast execute, which is exactly what failed for them last round. They're going to be able to get site control, it looks like, but, you know, keep in mind that UMD is not losing any players on this. Davy Jones able to read that flank from Arcadia, and I mean, UMD just has so much control even though they're not on site. They were able to back up, wait for the Sova, and Savani able to get that pick with the operator.
Yeah, first pick from Savani with the operator, but they've got to be careful of this Sova sitting hell as they're able to find two. And UMD just is on this site and not letting it go, and they are going to take home the second game of a best of 3, and we are going to head into a map 3.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are just playing so well, but I just love to see how happy and confident UMD was. I think that first game, like they were just struggling, a little bit confused, but they found their footing, and they're taking off right now. They're gonna have so much momentum going into this last game. Arcadia is gonna need to pull out some kind of trick. I mean, this is looking unstoppable for UMD.
Yeah, I had high hopes for a set, and I'm really happy UMD delivered on it, and it's all up to this next game. Is UMD going to be able to keep up with their momentum, or is Arcadia going to figure it out and swing back? We will find out after we come back from a brief commercial break.
Whether you're a new publisher or app developer, or if you've been around the block for a little while and you have your own ad ops team, Playwire is developing the solutions and products that are perfect for you.
RAMP stands for Revenue Amplification Management Platform. But really what it does, it helps you make more money per user, and it helps you simplify your business so you can just focus on what matters, which is making great content. So if you think about today's ecosystem, there's so many different pieces to run an ad tech platform.
RAMP brings the entire ad ecosystem under one umbrella. Everything from centralized ad unit creation to piping in those demand sources. We layer on a DMP, and we take care of your data privacy and consent management for you as well. We tie all of that together with robust analytics.
Playwire really offers our publishers 2 different models at this point. We've got the full service model where we come in and we cover everything. And there's now our new self-service model where you can come in and you can say, I just want Playwire to take care of some of these things for me. Another thing that we've had a lot of partners do with us in the past is say, hey, maybe I have a few of my own direct campaigns that I want to run. Or I've even got an ad ops team. I don't know whether Playwire is right for me because those people are doing a good job. We don't want to displace them in favor of Playwire. That's fine. We're happy to bring all the technology that we've put out there, but use it with your own team and with your own ad stack. What does that mean for you as a publisher? It means that you get to leverage all of the revenue maximization technology that we've got in place and still have all of the capabilities and all of the demand partners that you're used to working with. You can have your cake and you can eat it too.
We actually do things at such scale, right? We're serving 70 billion ads a month at this point. That's a huge benefit that we're passing on to the publisher.
Revenue intelligence marries human intelligence with machine intelligence. At its core, revenue intelligence is about taking all the demand that you're already getting and getting more out of it. We want to make it so that you're getting 10% more from your ad inventory without even worrying about who the advertisers are. It's based on us going in and understanding what are the places where we can put additional price pressure on. There's all sorts of situations like this where you can eke out little benefits and add them all up. You're quickly at a point where you are getting that 10, 15, 20% uplift on your revenue without having made any changes in who's actually doing the advertising.
Our DMP is built from the ground up to work in a cookieless environment and not use cookies to basically store, user behavior or anything like that. And it's built right into the RAMP platform.
We can tell advertisers information about user interests, but also user behavior, do it on a massive scale, do it in that real-time way that we also do with our revenue intelligence capabilities, and also do it in a way where we can leverage the size of our network. We're trying to do everything that we can to show you every step of the process of getting an ad onto the page. That means that we've got much richer charts and graphs, a lot more ability to look at a piece of information and drill down on it. Answer that question that maybe you didn't even know that you were asking. We're trying to make you think differently, actually, about your business, about how your business relates to advertising, and reveal all of that through the platform. So analytics are one big piece of it.
It's a constant evolution. We're constantly updating our technology. We're constantly creating the future.
It's a real challenge for publishers these days to navigate advertising technology. It seems like every 6 months there's some new challenge. And at Playwire, we make sure that we take all of that pain away from our publishers so they can focus on their core business of publishing.
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
And welcome back. We are going to be hopping into this final match between these two teams. It has been just a long match. Everybody's, I'm sure, getting a little bit tired, but UMD, if they're able to keep the momentum that they had from the end of that last game, they're going to be looking really strong here.
And we are going to be heading on to Sunset for our third and final map. And this is a map I feel like we don't see too much being picked too often, because I think it's not like everybody's favorite map. Composition-wise, I'm seeing a Clove for the Arcadia side, which I do love Clove. I think they're a great agent, especially right now. But on the UMD side, we are opting for an Omen for our smokes pick. And double initiator on both sides, which I think is pretty a common occurrence these days in Valorant. UMD is going to be on the attack to start things off, and Arcadia is going to be working on that defense. And another thing on this map, like similar to Ascent, is mid control.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of mid control, and as you bring it up, UMD is actually going to be exploding all the way down, forcing the Sova off of that positioning, and they're all the way working their way into Arcadia's spawn, and almost switching the sides of this map a little bit. The Sova is going to be able to find Savani, but I mean, there's just so many players. He's going to be able to find a beautiful shot on JV Jones as well, but he's going to follow Trace, but the Jet is there to pick him up, and a great flash, but it doesn't even matter. Carrot able to get that kill, and then falls to the Clove as well, and now it's all up to Soap.
Yeah, Soap's just gonna try and use her utility to give herself a bit of coverage. Is gonna be forced to swing into Market, bring around the Rosie around the middle there for a second, but Soap is not gonna come out of the other end alive as Arcadia takes this first defensive round for them.
Yeah, I really like that play from UMD. Just going all the way into the spawn. I wish that they just slowed down for a little bit, but I mean, they clearly had a game plan and they committed to it, and it almost worked out. Just that Sova, it would just do so much damage before falling. So UMD now looking like they're probably just gonna play for mid control again. I mean, like you said, it's so powerful on this map, and it's gonna be hard to dislodge this Cypher anyway. So I think that's smart coming out from them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this Cypher setup B every single time, because there is such a powerful potential for a setup on B site. So it's going to be about taking mid control or Market if UMD does want to end up B, and this scan is going to reveal that plan for UMD as Carrots gets taken down early into this one. UMD regrouped towards the mid side, but Savani just trapped in a tough corner there and can't get out without getting spotted and taken down. Arcadia looking to capitalize off of that pick and take mid into their own hands as UMD works their way towards A site. They have to be aware of this breach, and it's Trace that's going to come out not victorious on the other side of that, but the trade is there for Davy Jones.
Yeah, it looks like we're just going to get a regroup from UMD here, but they're just down weapons, and Davy Jones is one shot as well. They're going to need a miracle to come back into this round, but it looks like they're going to be walking towards A, but the Cypher is still there with that whole setup, and they only have pistols. They don't have any kind of, grenade from
30 seconds left.
Raze that you'd want to try to break some of the Cypher util. So it's going to be super difficult for them to come to get onto the site. They're just walking their way, and I don't think Arcadia knows that they're here, but they don't really need to.
Yeah, because it's not possible to take B site discreetly. You got to get through that Cypher utility. 13 seconds left for Soap. She might just be trying to find a pick here or two, but yeah, with that Cypher utility, it's so hard. And she's getting spot from all sorts of different angles, and Arcadia's actually running away from her. Might be able to get some plant money or a kill better, but that's such low HP for that Jet. Everyone gets to keep their lives, and UMD does not get the $300 in plant money. So UMD hopefully being able to buy a little bit more this round to counter what Arcadia is doing.
Yeah, that was a super heads-up play from Arcadia, realizing that there's no time left for Soup to plant, and they run away so that Soup actually lives through the round, because you get money for dying. So because they left her alive, she's actually not going to be able to buy with the rest of her team, and that was just super smart from Arcadia.
They found my wife.
And that could be the difference in this round, because the advantage UMD should be having is having money, but oh my god, Savani's already in sight. I didn't even realize she was making her way there. and she's able to just cut down that Cypher, and they're able to get full control and get the plant down without losing anybody. Great execute from UMD.
Yeah, working their way through that Cypher utility must have been hard for them. I love this crossfire that Savani and Carrots are holding, though, out of Boba. They got to be care of Market, though, and that they're just not watching Market. And Arcadia capitalizes off of that, putting out a numbers advantage. They have to work through that Cypher utility, though, out of Market, down to a 1v1. Davy Jones up against this Sova. And the Sova's going to use their utility to try and reveal the location, and that's exactly what happens. Davy Jones cannot come out on that one alive, and Arcadia continues to increase their lead as they put things at 3-0.
Yeah, just a great job from Arcadia being able to clear out every single corner just super well, using all that util and playing together. Yeah, that's just tough for UMD. I mean, I think that really not having that extra, that extra rifle on Cypher could have made a big difference in that. So, Davy Jones really did a great job of trying to hold down the spike, because it just wasn't enough. So Arcadia up 3-0 is not what you want to see as a UMD fan.
Yeah, now look at your buy from UMD. Pretty much just Deagles and a Spectre to work with regardless. Looking at mid control yet again. This time it's not being held super aggressively from Arcadia because they have a smoke to work through, but the HP is dwindling for UMD. Davy Jones gets picked off and not a whole lot of HP to work with there on the other side either. Regardless, UMD is trying to work their way through Market, gonna have to get through that Jet, and it's so hard with the angle that the Jet's holding, but Savani's Roomba takes care of things on the other side there, and UMD at a numbers disadvantage 2v4, and their positioning is so disconjoined here. They're so spread out on other sides of the map.
One enemy
complete
remaining.
Opposite sides, and with one of them getting taken down, it's all up to Carrots in a 1v3 with a Sheriff. We've seen what she's been able to do with a Sheriff, but a 1v3 might be very difficult when you only have such little HP,
yeah.
right?
Right here.
We'll
and
see.
also not Spike. She's got to get Spike, so.
Yeah, and so it's 5 HP, not 2, but yeah, I mean, it's just going to be so tough.
30 seconds
and
left.
It looks like Arcadia is holding this as well. I mean, it might just be in Carrot's best interest to save, but I don't think Arcadia is going to let that happen. And they're going to be able to get that pick, and that's 4-0 in favor of Arcadia. UMD needs to figure out something now.
Yeah, they got to get right back in this thing because like we saw on Haven specifically, Arcadia, when they're allowing Arcadia to go on these big runs, that's when things get a little out of control for UMD. Like we've said many times in the past, Valorant is a game of momentum, and what the goal is breaking that momentum. And I'm sure that is what Dusty is talking about right now to his team, is how can we just take one round, forget winning, forget going on a run, how can we get this next round, because the rest will fall in place afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. I really hope that something I want to see out of UMD is just more map control in general. They've been trying to force this mid control, but then they can't go anywhere because they don't have control anywhere else on the map. I would love to see getting mid control and then having somebody push on that A side, or trying to just do a little bit more of a default, because the problem is that they, even if they get mid, I mean, it's still an objective based game. You need to find your way onto a site. So Arcadia is just kind of giving them mid, often getting a pick for it too, and then just kind of resting on their laurels, going whatever, just having their players play site, and UMD just not able to find their way onto it.
Like you said, I think UMD feels a little bit trapped because B is being held down by that Cypher utility, and then mid they haven't been having much success on. So like you said, I think they're just at a bit of a loss for what the right move here is. It might be A for them, but they really haven't tried it yet. Let alone they haven't really tried a 4 push or 5 push onto A site.
Unlucky from Trace. I think she was expecting a fake or somebody covering the breach, but she just peeked it. She would have gotten the free KO. It's a little bit unfortunate, but Davy Jones so low to that shock dart, almost falling to it. And UMD, I mean, they're doing a good job of playing the mains, but they just don't have any control at all.
Got the spike.
Looks like the spike is going to be taken over to A, as we see a regroup there, but I mean, UMD still just in the main area, and they only have a Raze and an Oben. That's not going to be enough to push into Arcadia most likely. So we'll see once the regroup comes what they're going to come up with.
And it does look like UMD is looking towards the A side, Arcadia not being super aggressive in their hold there. But regardless, UMD is going to have to rely on Davy Jones's utility, especially to push them off of those angles so they're able to get this bomb down. I really do like this positioning though from Soap. I think she might be able to get at least one here from Market, but that shot is going to send off warning signs, and it's not even worth holding that anymore, as Arcadia is certainly not going to peek into that.
Yeah, UMD is able to make their way onto site, but unfortunately, Davy Jones is so low that the shock there, the ultimate is just going to come out from Sova. UMD is finally going to be able to get the plant down, but it's just too little, too late. As Kara is the only one left on site, and now it's just up to this Raze. Shock there comes out, and she's chopping the corner. She's able to find one. She's able to find two. Is she going to be able to find this the Cypher? The ultimate comes out, and even if she doesn't find anybody with it, the fact of the matter is, Raze could be anywhere. She's just going to slowly work her way back main, and as her ult goes off, she is in a very, very solid position now. She has the opportunity to walk to the side. She's just going to push into that Cypher, get a tap it once, and now is she going to be able to push out of it? She pushes out of it again, so the Cypher gets off half, and she's going to be able to find it.
Great effort from Savani there. I really like the way she approached that Cypher trip, like falsely sounding it once, backing up, and then sounding it again, making the Cypher get off bomb there. I think that had potential to be great, but regardless, great kills from her, great effort, but still not quite enough for UMD to find any success yet. And this is starting to slip away this half for UMD at 5-0. So like we said, I think it's about them just figuring out what site they want to hit. Looks like they might be making some B presence, and I think this might be the right call. Just brute force that Cypher utility at a certain point.
Yeah, they had a really good execute onto A, I believe, the third round or something, but they just haven't gone back to it yet. They are able to get rid of a lot of Cypher util just from that nade, but a heads up play from Cypher knowing to recall that tripwire and then place it back after the nade goes off. So they're still gonna have to push their way through the nade or through the tripwire. Well played by him.
Unless they're able to find a pick on this Cypher, that would be ideal also, and disengage all that utility. It looks like Soap's going to be on the lurk, while the rest of her team, for the most part, looks through A. Savani peeking through mid, not going to find anybody there, and it's very quiet from the UMD attack so far. Gotta be aware of this breach in elbow, though. If they do decide to push there, the Fade utility from Trace is going to help out with that a lot, but not quite able to spot him. But I think the flash is going to sell out his location as he's forced to kind of back away and just use his utility to push him out into safety. But Savani pushes out, or gets killed though from that breach utility. Ultimate used for Arcadia. Not gonna work out for them though, as that Clove gets killed, and now UMD at a numbers advantage, forcing Arcadia to retake here. Wouldn't be surprised if Trace and Davy Jones are looking towards CT, as it looks like that's where both the Arcadia players are heading. Davy Jones finds the first, Carrots finds the second. UMD takes home their first round of the third game.
Yeah, and a little something to note, that's the second time this game, I believe, that Savani has died to the same team breach stun. But I mean, like, that's a low price to pay for the fact that they have a guaranteed clear of the breach out of that little hallway, and because of how quickly they were able to get control of site, even though Clove used her ultimate, there was just no way that she was ever getting out of that alive, because there's just people everywhere, and you know, it takes a little bit of time to have the ability to shoot. And I like this play from UMD. They're just going to go fast down A. A lot of util used onto his breach, and he's going to just get run over. And UMD able to get a free pick and almost site control off of off of very little, just a couple of pieces of util.
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to see out of UMD so far. They actually have been stopped in their tracks a little bit, have not gone bomb down, but I wish they just went ahead and brute forced it to get bomb down after getting that opening pick especially, but instead they're at a bit of a stalemate here. They're waiting for the rotate to come through on the other side as Soap finds one mid, searching for the second. It's gonna have to weave around the jet knives and make leeway for her team towards mid, but it looks like they're going to double back onto A site. This Clove, though, has not budged from CT. Carrot's going to smoke that off, and hopefully now UMD's going to be able to hit a site, but no, look at this rotate from Trace, who is holding the spike into mid, and B is completely open.
Yeah, this is what I loved out of UMD on Ascent, is after getting control of a site, they don't just, you know, turn their brains off and execute. They're setting themselves up in such a way that they're able to go to the other site if they decide it's better, and that's exactly what happens here. They get control of site, and they have all these ultimates that they don't even need to use. Jet is out of her dash, so walking on the site is going to be very difficult for her, and she's just going to start backing up. I think that they're just calling for a save.
Honestly, top tier mind games for UMD, showing just so much A presence to start things off, doubling back, showing mid presence, almost looking like they were going to go A again, and then finally deciding to fast rotate collectively towards B site. Love to see it from UMD. It's really complicated, but if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. But honestly, a part of me, like I said earlier, would have loved to just see them commit to A site. I think they really could have done it there, especially finding that opening pick. I want to see just a fast execute from UMD eventually.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I mean, I think that, you know, just having the threat of these fast executes, I really like the way that they start off super aggressively and then they just slow down and assess what Arcadia does, because I think Arcadia just sees, you know, aggression, and they just, you know, just kind of send everybody, send the whole troop, and UMD just having a great read on the situation. So I want to see what they have planned in this round. We might be seeing that fast execute that you were talking about, though, as we see a bunch of util coming up from UMD into Arcadia's stack site, and they're just going to back up. I think we're seeing a full regroup from them, actually. And these are the mind games we're talking about. That Cypher needs to be very careful, because if he's caught out of position, you know, he's only got a classic, and then once he falls, UMD is just able to walk on the site. Yeah, great shot from Davy Jones, knowing to take that angle wide. And there's now nobody on B. UMD is just going to be able to walk on and plant.
Not ready yet. Shadows.
Yeah, Savani finds that pick onto B side. Look at this lurk from Carrots, though. If she can wrap around behind Boba, that could be huge for UMD. But for now, it's this jet from Arcadia that's trying to creep up onto B side. And instead, Carrots, they have to be so aware of this. And Carrots finds the first, searching for the second, going to use her blind to her advantage. TP right up in their face. Finds the second, is not done. Cannot take down that Odin, though. Now it's a 3 versus Odin for UMD. Half HP is that Sova. But regardless, UMD able to clean that up and take the Odin down. Hopefully, the Sova is not able to repurchase, but
yeah, I mean, that's 3 rounds in a row for UMD, especially if you're buying an Odin. I think it's very unlikely that they have the money for that, but we can already see that UMD, they're getting that confidence that they had back, and I think more importantly, they're playing they're playing intelligently, like they were playing on Ascent. They're not just picking a site and forcing it. We saw, you know, they see the Sova, they see all that util coming out from Arcadia. They're like, I mean, there's like 3 people here. That means that the other side of the map has to be weak, and that's exactly what they do.
And we are seeing a timeout for Arcadia. If you're Arcadia, I actually do like this timeout, because their goal here is to really stop UMD from getting even with them, as they've won the last 3 rounds. So I think Arcadia is certainly trying to disrupt UMD's momentum that they're starting to build up in the economy and the ultimates they're starting to accumulate here. For UMD, it's about how do we keep this going? What are we doing right? What is working? And what I think is working for them is switching up their site executes. They rarely do the same thing twice. And I think that's really the goal here if you want to keep the defenders on their toes.
Yeah, I think that Arcadia just needs to play a little bit more predictive rather than reactive. You know, even if we see a lot of aggression from UMD, you know, onto like B site, for instance, I think the players on A site just need to trust that whoever's guarding B is able to do that, because if they give up that A control, the camera is a little bit of a, you know, honor among thieves, is they're just gonna stare at each other. But UMD opting for this mid that they haven't really touched since the first part of this round. I'm sorry, the first part of this half, and I think it's a good choice for them because you know, they've shown to Arcadia that they need to respect the sites, and so they're gonna be forced to give up that mid control a little bit.
And it's smoked off for UMD, so they're gonna have to work around that or regroup and market potentially. Soap right now has eyes onto B site. I think Soap's just waiting for the Cypher to peek out and get rid of that utility, but now that that Cypher knows that is the game plan, he's gonna back up away and call for reinforcements. But look at UMD's positioning through mid here. They're able to push up, but they have to be aware of this Clove, and they're gonna double swing it regardless. Clove comes out on top, but not without the trade from Savani there. And now we're looking at a bit of a brawl deep into mid.
Yeah, I love that nade out of Savani, just not letting that breach push out. And here comes Sova, but there's a bunch of util going out. He's gonna fall super low, and you can see how low that Cypher is as well. UMD just gonna go for a regroup because they know that they have A control. They're gonna go ahead, give Cypher that ult, and if we're able to see an ultimate out of Trace, this is super winnable from UMD. They just need to get the spike down.
Yeah, Carrots TP'd just in order to get onto the site, get into positioning, be ready for this retake. Has to be aware of this. Sova creeping right below her, and the timing is just really awkward. All up to Trace to keep this spike ticking. Has to push out as they're sticking. Finds two, looking for the third. Trying to just play mind games with the spike here. Throws utility into that Jet's face. Swings off of her utility back into cover. Pushes with the classic, but cannot quite come out on top.
Yeah, that's just super unfortunate. If she had been able to react just a second sooner to the tap from the Jet, she would have known, she wouldn't have needed to be facing the wrong way, and she would have been able to take control of, take advantage of that, her grapple just a little bit better. But I mean, still a good round from UMD. I mean, we saw them get control of this the site. I think if Carrots had just been a little bit more aware of where that Sova was, just that little error could have completely switched the way that round turned out.
And we're looking at a full buy from both sides. Two ultimates also that each team has to work with here.
Are we sure it's a full buy? I'm not seeing an Odin out of the Sova.
Maybe it's not a full buy.
Yeah,
honestly, they've been purchasing the Odin a little less than we've seen on a set. Oh, look at this push right into Carrots. Crosshair finds both of them. Great job from Carrots, keeping her composure, getting swinged on like that.
Yeah, and now, I mean, UMD, as soon as those floodgates open, they're just gonna barrel their way down A. They know that there's probably only one player. It would be crazy if Arcadia had stacked 4 players and let 2 of them push out. So UMD knows that they can just push out here, but the nade is going to come out, and it's going to be almost perfectly placed on the Clove. I don't really know how she managed to survive, and looks like the Jet this time is going to be aware of that flank, but Carrot's is going to get a third for the round, and I don't think she's done.
She is certainly not. She is looking for the Cypher, who's going to hang out CT. Probably going to wait for Davy Jones to flash so they can all swing it collectively. Flash gets that Cypher, and Trace actually falls, but Carrots with the 4K is hunting for this ace, and Davy Jones is going to be the one who finishes it off. But UMD, look at them crawling back into this thing. They're only down 2 rounds now.
Yeah, Carrots really just put on a masterclass of you know, just controlling that space A, and this is what I'm talking about. Whenever, you know, it really feels like Arcadia just has one of 2 plays. It's either, you know, just hold sight and hard rotate as soon as anybody makes any kind of sound, or it's doing this aggression. So UMD knows that if they just, you know, wait to play their cards, they're able to get, you know, free site control every round, and that's exactly what we've been seeing out of the second half of this this attacking time for UMD.
And it's a Hero Vandal for Arcadia in the hands of that Sova. UMD looking to mostly default. Sova ultimate comes through on Arcadia's side. takes down Trace in the process, does a fair bit amount of damage to Carrots. Those are two very important players for the UMD side, taken down early into the round. UMD just hunting for a pick, is going to find it. The Clove's going to pop their ultimate, though, to revive themselves, and good job for Davy Jones just running away from that, not going to let that Clove take that kill. And now Clove, they got to be aware of this flank potentially, because Clove needs a kill to stay alive, but not going to find it in time. Savani gets taken down, though, during that whole ordeal. UMD's got to grab Spike and regroup and think about where they want to end up hitting.
Yeah, I really like this play from UMD, just because we saw from that the first game on I believe it was Haven, that it can be really easy to forget where the spike is when you do that play of leaving it somewhere on the map and then just trying not to lose it, because yeah, once you lose it, the round can just kind of get away from you. But looks like Soap's life is gonna get away from her, as Jet is able to find 2 with her knives, and she's got 1 more if Carrots is gonna fall to it as well. 5 HP on the Jet though, so she's probably just gonna hold the rifle.
Yeah, and with only 8 seconds left, UMD has to get this plant down now, and with time ticking, it's too hard for Carrots to pull off by herself. Arcadia takes that round and stops a long run from UMD.
Yeah, UMD was looking really good, and their momentum was starting to get a little bit out of control, but Arcadia is able to rein them back in. They need, if they can get 1 more round, Arcadia is going to look very, very solid in the second half, but if UMD is able to find this, despite how dominant Arcadia looked at first, you know, 5-7 half is pretty even. So UMD would definitely be very happy with that, given how this half started.
UMD looking to close things out with a bang on this attack side, as they opt for a bit of a default play. Going to use some initiator utility from Trace to kind of smell out this this A site, see if Sova's holding it aggressively, which they have done in the past. So good use of utility from Trace though, but in general, UMD not putting their eggs in one basket yet, just kind of seeing where they get any information, whether that's mid or on A site.
Yeah, you definitely need to keep an eye out for Cypher in this round, because as soon as they get that kill, the ultimate's going to be available for them. And we know how good UMD is at capitalizing on that kind of information. They're making their way down down this A side, and it looks like they might be getting some solid information onto A with this lineup. And Sova's dart is going to be shot, so they don't have to worry about getting shot through that smoke. Here comes a nade. That could finish off Sova. They need to be very careful. And we still have a bunch of ultimates out of UMD. Here comes a TP, and they're just going to plant for free onto B.
I love that TP, because you get to avoid all that Cypher utility in your way there. Great play call for the Terps. Now they're going to rotate back towards B site, but looks like they're planning to hold it not on site and playing this bomb essentially. I think that's exactly what you want to do on this map.
Yeah, here comes a breach stun out, but since UMD is playing so far back, they're not actually going to fall for it. And here's a bunch of util out of UMD, forces all of them back. Savani and Soap are going to get cut out, but a bunch of trades are going back and forth, and UMD is found on the back foot, but they still need to plant. Arcadia needs to prove that they have an advantage. Davy Jones able to find a pick, but they're going to fall. Here comes the plant down, and with only 1 player left, Trace just needs to find this last kill. She gets caught, but it doesn't matter. And UMD 5-7. A great round. Very, very well played.
UMD really just, their positioning paying off huge. They're not playing on site and playing through main and just able to eat up enough time to win that round. That's exactly how they should have played that, because I think if they played on site there, they would have ran into issues as Arcadia pretty much 4-person rush out of Boba.
Yeah, this is a story that we've seen time and time again from UMD of recognizing when the enemy breach has their ultimate and not allowing them to be caught off guard. You know, on Haven we saw the counter breach, and this time they're just playing somewhere where, you know, you don't really want to push into main. You just want to get control of site. And so this time we see Davy Jones not opting to counter it immediately, but just kind of wait, because it really was not a high value breach ultimate from Arcadia at first.
And now UMD gets to try out their tactics on the defensive side. Looks like we're going to see aggression from Savani and a one-way thrown by Carrots to help her out. I like where this is going. If she just swings out a little bit more, the smoke's going to dissipate, and there's actually 2 people there, so this could be huge from Savani if she's able to find or at least do damage on 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, UMD has already kind of got an advantage in this opening because they're able to pick up that orb and they're able to completely shut off Arcadia's push towards A, and now UMD is just able to stack pretty freely towards the B side, but unfortunately the util is going to be coming out from Arcadia, forcing UMD off of site, and they're going to be able to get a plan for 3, but they're still looking they're still looking great for UMD before 2 players fall, and now Arcadia is looking super strong.
Davy Jones trying to use her utility to get UMD back onto the site. Savani finds some value off that utility, and Davy Jones and Savani are just making something out of nothing for the Terps. All they have to deal with is this Cypher who's in B main. The Roomba is gonna probably rat them out in a matter of time. Savani swings though, finds 3 for herself that round. Great round for the Terps, and that round didn't look too optimistic or hopeful, you know, in the beginning stages, but they were able to turn that around.
Yeah, it was very well played by them by letting Davy Jones take control of the spawn side of that B site, and then using that control that she got to take control of market, because once they were able to clear that out, it was just up to that Cypher, and 3v1, especially with the Sheriff, is just so tough, and it just wasn't gonna happen.
UMD takes the pistol round, which means they're going to be able to buy up here. So in theory, they should be winning this round and putting it at 7-7. But the answer of will they be able to is a different story.
Yeah, and I like that this round they're still playing pretty aggressively on A, just because they're able to have that weapons advantage. But they're just going to give up site control, and this makes perfect sense. I mean, once all this util goes down, what does Arcadia have? Worse weapons. I mean, it looks like they're going to aggress into market, but they're aggressing into UMD's weapons, and they're going to be able to get 2 of them actually, but maybe a little bit hungry. Too much so for the weapons, as Savani and Trace are going to be able to get 1 each, and now Arcadia is on the back foot. Neither of these players have weapons. I think they're both on classics, and this is an uphill battle. Looks like we're seeing an aggressive angle out of this clove, but it's just not going to work out for them. And Taji is going to find 1, but the Roomba is going to be played so well by Savani, and that's going to be another KO.
And that's why the weapons advantage is so important, especially on the second round. UMD was numbers down in terms of players for much of that round, especially heading into that retake. But just having better weapons in hand makes all the difference. And that's why if you win the first round, you always want to force the second. But now most of their players have died, so they're not going to have great guns to work with coming into the third round, and they're up against a full buy from Arcadia.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have great weapons, but I mean, you still have to keep an eye out for carrots with that Guardian. I mean, 1 headshot from that means that an Arcadia member is going to be broken next round. And UMD's economy is great. Ooh, Savani kind of messing up the rollout a little bit, but still able to get control of this area. And they're going to keep pushing forward, kind of forcing Arcadia to push maybe before they're ready, and they're not going to be able to get carrots out. Unfortunately, carrots is just gonna miss a little bit. It's a weird angle, and now UMD is on the back foot. Great spray from Sova.
Yeah, finishes things up there, and Arcadia takes on their first attacking round, defensive round?
Attacking
round. There we go. So now they're looking to start a run if they want to get ahead on the attack and try and close things out. UMD finally able to buy, though, up against a decent buy from Arcadia. A bulldog here or there. But regardless, UMD's got to get this defense in line. I think they just got to work on not getting pushed off of these sites.
Yeah, and we're seeing a correct gamble stack from UMD, 3 towards that A side, which is where Arcadia is working. They just need to keep an eye out for this breach who worked his way mid. But a great smoke. Oh, carrots, you know that you're mad about that. A 1-tap through the smoke. I mean, well played by that breach, just knowing, but ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, great shot from the breach, but that's gotta hurt on the other side. But Arcadia has quickly but quietly creeped up towards mid. Looks like they're gonna take market control. They're gonna have to deal with just a little bit of Cypher utility from main, but other than that, they shouldn't have much of an issue getting onto B-site and of course a rotate and regroup from UMD. But look at the Sova's positioning. If UMD's gonna go through market, they have to be aware. And oh no, look at this Sova just wreaking havoc on Savani and Trace. Davy Jones finally comes in with the trade, but the damage has already been done.
Yeah, the stun was just a little bit too late, unfortunately, from UMD. But, you know, we've seen Davy Jones especially how strong they can be on these retakes. It'll be definitely a difficult battle, but it's not impossible. A flash comes out, that's definitely going to catch at least this breach, but unfortunately the Jet is there to hold their back, and now with just Soap left, I think that they're just going to save and try to play for next round. Yeah, we're probably just going to be seeing a hero rifle out of Soap next round, as UMD, I think this is their second round loss in a row, so they're probably not going to have a very strong economy. And I like this play from Arcadia, just all walking back to spawn as one, not hungry for this last kill, because they know that UMD is going to be broke. They don't need to, you know, risk losing these weapons.
Exactly, and I think what went wrong for UMD that round is they got pushed off their site. Just like I said heading into things, once we lose site control, we haven't really won many retake scenarios, or at least I think we struggle more to. So I think it's easier just to hold your ground in the beginning than try and retake it in the face of whatever Cypher traps are now standing in your way and the clove smokes.
Oh, look at this. UMD hard gamble stacks the B side, but the read is completely off as 4 players out of Arcadia are towards A, and that's completely uncontested. They can just walk on for free and get a plant down. They don't need to use any utility. They're going to use, what, a jet dash? I mean, this is going to be... I think this retake is going to be almost impossible.
Yeah, I'm surprised Arcadia hasn't even planted yet, because there's not a soul on this A site, but Soap's able to find that first pick for UMD, and now they're aware that there's this Cypher in mid. Trace is going to use a utility along with the help of Soap swinging with her to find that pick mid. This round looked like it was going to go in Arcadia's favor to start with, but it's UMD who's actually come out on top so far, but not for long, as Arcadia is able to, you know, get back in numbers with 2 kills, 3v3, but HP not looking good for Trace.
Oh
Savani, though.
Savani perfectly placed with the party crasher. The clove does come back, but I don't think she realizes that she's on the spike, and she's just gonna take it. And UMD with 5 HP left on Trace. How are they able to get that away? Oh my, so well played.
Yeah, major sleuth points for Trace, as she's just, you know, quietly gets onto that site. I guess, you know, the Arcadia player didn't hear the tap, but
yeah.
And also the comms probably weren't there that she's 5 HP and a single bullet would kill her. But great job from Trace regardless to, you know, just give UMD a little bit more money to head into these next rounds.
Yeah, so well played by UMD. I you know, I ate my words there. That retake from UMD was just so good. Looks like Arcadia does get a timing through this one way, but UMD is ready for it, and just the jump peak is going to be able to announce to all of them that that's where Arcadia is pushing from, and Arcadia is just going to work their way A, but off of what we saw last round, I'm not too worried that UMD has the ability to make this retake. They just need to be ready for the Cypher, because a lot of their retake hinged on the ability to rotate through mid. And if they're not ready for the Cypher, they could lose 1-2 players just on the transition.
Savani gets picked off as she's trying to entry. Trace, though, peeks out mid, finds success there. UMD pushed off of A site, though. Look at this clove from Arcadia, finding 3, pops their ultimate to come back to life. Gonna have to find a pick, though, soon. And it's just Carrots left to face these 3 Arcadia players. She takes care of the first, tries to hunt down the second. Look at the HP, though, not looking great for Arcadia. This is certainly winnable for Carrots.
Yeah, she just needs to find where the Sova is. It looks like the breach is taking the aggro first, and yeah, just really well played, knowing that that Sova is going to be so low. So just trying to surprise Carrots, and it worked out perfectly. UMD now on the back foot a little bit. I'm not sure if their economy's there, but if they lose this round, it's gonna get very tight for them. And yeah, they're just gonna save. That means that they're only gonna have 1-2 rounds of error left in them, whereas Arcadia can afford to lose a good couple.
It would be great if UMD could pull off some sort of thrifty here, or at least just get some of those guns out of the hands of Arcadia. Like you said, they're such at an economy disadvantage. That's what they really got to be thinking of heading into this next round. The round win might not be there because you're at a disadvantage in terms of, having only pistols. But it's just a matter of doing wreaking as much havoc as you can on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, one of the joys about Valorant is the fact that, these pistol rounds are absolutely not unwinnable. We almost saw Jet falling in the beginning of the round down to just 36 HP, not a lot of health at all. So, UMD is really, they're not going to go down without a good kick. But it looks like Arcadia is just going to breeze their way through this market area. Flash comes out, and if Trace isn't ready, she's going to get run over. That's exactly what happens. The Clove finds her, finds a second as well. And now, UMD doesn't look like they're going to be able to pick up any kills. Safani not quite going to be able to finish the Jet that she had lowered so early in the round. And now it's just up to Carrots and Soap trying to make this retake, but they only have pistols. This is going to be very, very difficult.
Carrots looking to work some magic with her Sheriff. Gets it started with one. Cannot quite find that Clove, and it's up to Soap to try and dance around those boxes.
Yeah, and now that all the utilities there, isn't going to be able to find the Clove, but the breach is there to follow it up, and now UMD can only afford to lose one more round. If they lose a second, this game is over.
And hopefully that save has led them to better guns, and that's exactly what it looks like. Great timeout timing for Coach Dusty to take that timeout, now that this is just a crucial must-win round for UMD.
Yeah, if UMD loses this round, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this match is just about over, because they're going to be down a bye, and they won't be able to lose it. They'll have to get a thrifty. We've seen them do it. It won't be impossible, but, I mean, it will be such an uphill battle for them to have to win.
You're exactly right. This is probably the most crucial round in the whole series that UMD is going to be heading into. And how will they play it is the question. Are they going to choose to gamble stack? I hope not, because the twice they've done it, it has not worked out for them. What I really hope we do see from them is holding their ground onto sites. And if they do realize that there is aggression coming in from Arcadia, I think you got to have the confidence to just stand there and try and hold downside as best you can and try not to rotate off of it, because our retakes have been lacking a little bit on Sunset.
Yeah. No, I think that Arcadia has just had a dominant executes, forcing UMD off. And yeah, I mean, maybe you're right that UMD just needs to hold their ground, but if they get run over and then they have to do the the retake down a player as well, I mean, that's going to be rough. So I don't think there's an obvious solution for UMD. Let's see if Dusty is able to pull a rabbit out of the hat that this game has become. But UMD looks like they're just going to stack towards B. We still have 2 players in spawn. Hopefully DC. I'm curious why they're still walking around over there.
We might be in a tech pause. I'm definitely in some sort of pause.
Yeah.
It might be technical related as we get things sorted out, which just only builds the suspense for the most important round of the series.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what I would do if I was UMD, because Arcadia is just dominant on their sites. They're just kind of picking a site and then winning it, and that's tough, because it means that UMD isn't really doing anything wrong. They're just kind of getting outgunned and out-utiled and then out-held.
Yeah, I think Savani might be having problems with her computer. Maybe Trace is trying to offer some technical support there. But again, this just almost acts like a second tactical timeout, because it's going to give both Arcadia and UMD, even though they're sorting out technical issues, to kind of talk about how they want to approach this round in even more depth.
Yeah. UMD needs to figure out something now. I don't know if just switching up the players just so that Arcadia has to do these executes into something that they're not really expecting. I mean, we've seen how well UMD can retake when their back's against the wall. So maybe that's going to be their play. Maybe we're going to see some aggression. That's something I would love to see, is not letting Arcadia set up for these executes. Taking the fight to them before they have whatever they've drilled 100 times. So definitely a lot to consider if you're UMD, but they need to figure out what's going to stick, because there's not a lot of time left.
And regardless of who comes out on top of this series, what a great series we've had, especially for the first game of the NECC season after tournament placements. So we couldn't really ask for a more competitive game, as things have been pretty neck and neck the whole time.
Yeah, it looks like Arcadia is opting for a mid-heavy, just gonna run it down B, and this is exactly the kind of play that they've been looking for, and it looks like somebody from the Arcadia team is reconnecting as well. So it seems like we're getting the all good from the two teams now. Glad that that's all cleared up, and we should be getting into this round any second. Now it's go time. We had a little bit of a reprieve for the players, but this is the round. So yeah, it just looks like Arcadia is just gonna kind of run it down B. We see this cam from Cypher not allowing any sort of aggression of UMD. That's definitely very, very well played by them. And we see the aggression from UMD, but it's on the wrong side, and Arcadia looks like they're just gonna have another free execute. Here comes the shock dart, and it's gonna shut down the Cypher setup. And yeah, they just walk their way on the site.
Site is all Arcadia's right now, getting bombed down without any problem. UMD, if you're gonna figure out a retake strategy, now is the time to do it. But look at Arcadia, every single one of them is going to be placed B main. I know their intentions are just to spam that bomb after it's been tapped, and look at the ultimates, 4 on either side. Things are about to get crazy.
Yeah, UMD needs to take the fight to them right now, because this is not a good situation at all for UMD. They've got the Cypher, they've got the Sova ultimate, 4 taps, they've got the Breeze ultimate as well, but Davy Jones is going to be able to walk himself out. Unfortunately, she gets caught, but do they know that UMD's on the spike? They're just going to hold it, and they're going to get sprayed down, and that was really, really close to for a second ninja defuse from UMD, but it's not quite going to happen. And now UMD, this is not looking good at all. They need to win this round, and we're seeing Spectres, we're seeing Sheriffs. We need to see a miracle.
Yeah, that is what we need, and so close, but yet so far for that round. Things just got so chaotic so quick. Once UMD finally got onto site, Arcadia pulled out 2 of their 4 ultimates for that one. Or sorry, UMD pulled out 2 of their 4 ultimates for that one, but still could not come out with a win there, but by a small margin. So UMD's gonna have to pull something out of nothing with their guns here.
Yeah, and it looks like Arcadia is just going to go for the default. And this makes perfect sense, and they have that weapons advantage. They just need to take solid fights. No need to get fancy and then run the risk of missing a corner. But this does give UMD the opportunity to force a time situation. If Arcadia isn't careful, they could be forced to cut some corners, and that's exactly what UMD needs on the save round.
Looks like Arcadia's pushing A side. Savani's holding her ground in elbow, finds the pick on that Sova. That's huge for UMD, but Savani gets traded. Teammates are there to aggressively hold elbow yet again, but doesn't look like they're going to get swung into anytime soon, as we might see a rotate from Arcadia through mid.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out whether or not they want to rotate as well, and it looks like they're just not going to do it. They're just going to re-aggress A, and UMD has not fallen for this trick at all. They're all still here. Here comes a scan out of Cypher, and that's exactly what Arcadia needs. And that's going to be the info that Arcadia needs in order to call the rotate. They're going to start running to the other side of the map. But UMD, they're not getting tricked at all. They're just going to follow, and Arcadia still has to execute onto a site. Look at that, only 10 seconds left, and they're not even on site. That's going to be a huge shot from Clove, getting their way onto site, but it's just not going to be enough for UMD. This advantage is the spike goes down, and now it's just down to we're going to see Trace go down. It's just Soap with a Spectre, and it's going to be so tough. She does have the ultimate, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this is a really tough ask for Soap here with only a Spectre, and you're gonna go up against 2 ultimates potentially. It is just not gonna happen, but great effort from UMD, and what a series to start things off. I know UMD didn't come out on top, but we really could not have asked for a more competitive game.
Yeah, no, UMD had some really clever tricks, especially on the attack. I feel like it almost felt like they were playing with Arcadia a little bit, especially on Ascent, and then the second part of their attacking round, but they just got activated a little bit too late, and they just weren't able to find their footing on defense. So Arcadia is going to be able to take this first UMD's first series, but yeah, like you said, great stuff out of UMD.
Yeah, well, we want to thank you all for watching and remind you guys to come back next Monday for another Valorant stream. And this has certainly been a fun one to watch, and good try for UMD. They put up quite the fight, but hey, let's look at next week and see what match we got coming up then.
Yeah, absolutely. UMD just needs to look forward, but thanks for showing up. I've been Tomas.
Yep, and this is Lily, and we are signing off until next week.
See you guys.